right. Poof. So
we are here. Hazard D&D. We got Ricochet here. How's it going? In the upper right, we got McNux, who is his name's going to be playing Connor Delphox, a hobgoblin monk. In the bottom right, we got Flamboyant Wizard, Stubborn Joe, who's a dwarf barbarian. Off stream, we have two friends of ours. We have, I forget your guys' name. Just introduce yourself. I forgot. We got
Raytheon Stormraven, Wood Elf.
We got a Wood Elf, Raytheon Stormraven, and then we have a. What are you, Chuck?
Tiefling.
Terminus? Probably an Asmar. That's what I've been told.
You're an Asmar, yes, and
I'm pretty sure I'm an Asmar. People think I look like a. People think I look like a tiefling, but fuck those people.
A tiefling Asmar, whose name's Thorbidus. Is that your name, Thorbidus?
Terminus.
There you go. Thorbidus.
That was all last episode, but it's fine. Trying to figure out his name.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out names here.
We'll get there step by step.
All right, so
kick it over to the Dungeon Master, Zach.
All right,
and our esteemed Dungeon Master, Zach, who put together this amazing thing that we're going through right now. So, thank you, Zach. Thanks everybody for showing up. And let's get to it. Let's get into character.
All right. So, I'm sure as everyone remembers, where we finished off our the beginning of this tall tale, and where our campaign is going to pick up and begin. We begin our journey in the land of Ethos. The current year on the calendar, because there is a calendar. The current year is 1852 PD, which stands for Purple Dawn. It's around springtime right now. As you guys recalled, you had just finished a preemptive celebration for what is known as the Greengrass Celebration on the Forgotten Realms calendar. In the small working blue-collar city of Iron Gate, which is a very work hard, play hard-esque city in Ethos. Everyone got into their own little shenanigans in their own ways. Some people got into a drinking contest. Others got slapped. Others did some jousting over a mud pit. Who is not currently present.
He won, but he dove in and he's stuck.
An archery contest. And overall, a day of celebration in honor of the upcoming harvest and goodwill and blessings to the gods above in their hope for a bountiful harvest. Where our story picks up is the day after our little festival, the Greengrass Festival, on the 5th of Myrtle. Let's see. I want everyone to give me a initiative roll, please.
Oh God, we're rolling for initiative already?
Initiative roll, please.
I'm excited. Hold on.
Yeah, give me a second.
I gotta find my roll.
Wait, which roll? Which roll are you going to do?
Initiative.
Next to the shield.
Oh,
initiative roll. Okay.
yeah.
I got 99.
I got a 6.
I got a 6. Hey, 6 as well. Look at that.
I got a 20.
Oh, I got a 12.
I'm too stupid to find initiative.
It's next to the shield.
No, next to the shield. It says
Gotcha.
armor class and then
Yeah. Okay. 8.
8. Okay, so
Wait, Joe, you
the
got
highest then 20 was we have here Connor.
Mm-hmm.
So Connor, from the night prior, after you had whatever the blur of the night prior had been for you all, you are the first to arise on a very humid, slightly cool ground floor you feel. It's in a very congested way you wake up, where in a way it feels slightly hard to breathe because of how densely packed the air is in this area, but sort of bitter cold lashes down the back of your neck as you wake up from a chill. You can't help but just kind of twinge and shake from. You get up and you feel your muscles sore and achy and cracking as you get up. And you kind of like snap your neck to the side and shake your shoulders a little bit. And you look around, and for morning, it's pretty dark in this chamber. And as your eyes begin to adjust and acclimate to the environment of waking up and your post grogginess as you're sort of rubbing your eyes and looking around, you notice there's quite a few other people around in this chamber as well. Some that you may or may not remember. From
jail, dude.
drunken stupor from the day before. And as you wake up and sit up, and a tiny bit of ray of sunlight shines in, it just feels like it blinds you as you just sort of a splitting headache hits over your head as you begin to get up. You get up and just, oh God. And you feel around, and you feel that you're on a stone slab floor. And as you look up ahead, you see rusty iron bars that are laid out before you.
How'd I get here?
As you're kind of looking around, trying to gauge the environment, you see the numerous other shapes and figures rustling around or snoring away, passed out in the chamber, ranging in sizes and races, from tieflings to dwarfs to elves to humans to even a Goliath in the back of the chamber who is like cuddled up in the fetal position with a little halfling beside, sort of like a kitten and a dog sleeping on each other. And as you sort of rise, you hear some footsteps, sort of like metal hitting stone footsteps, creaking down the hall before you slowly. And with every step, you hear it's almost like a hammer hitting an anvil. That's your head with every step. You're just like, oh God. Who rolled a 16 for initiative? Anyone roll 16?
Fess up, people.
Joe and I
got
No.
6.
I rolled a 12.
got
12.
6 on my
6.
side.
Okay.
What'd you get, Chuck?
8.
Okay, so it would be
Rico?
in this case, Rune,
The destroyed at this point. After last night, I got wrecked. So I'm destroyed at the moment.
So, Rune, you wake up as slowly consciousness begins to come to you, and in an unfamiliar feeling from the night prior, as this cold bitterness of the stone slab hits you. Prior, with the ray of light shining in, just a pounding headache. You wake up and wonder, where the hell am I? As you start looking around, and you see a familiar face granted you from the night before, Connor the Hobgoblin, who is also awake and dazed and confused and looks very hurting in the head as well. And you hear the sounds of these metallic footsteps coming down the hallway. And as the two of you awaken and sort of look around at each other and give like a brief nod of acknowledgement that you're both present in the moment and equally confused, the sound of footsteps grows even closer to where it's only merely a few feet away. And at this point now, it sounds like it's multiple footsteps that are approaching. As you sort of pass around the corner, as you look through the bars, you see a man clad in steel with red accented armor. He is a human with a rugged, worn-in face, hard features, with a sort of short yet slicked back black hair, very pronounced brown eyes that stand out, with a scar that cuts across his face, wearing a red cloak adorned with a long sword on his belt, and beside him appeared to be two other men clad in chainmail, sort of leather and steel helmets, each with short swords and maces appears in their hands. And you see one of them is holding like a metal tankard, and you see the guards pass it down the line to whoever this more ornamented figure is at the front. And as you see him look at everyone in the cell briefly with just kind of, in a way, a look of disdain and almost disgust in a way, and he walks up to the front of the jail cell and holds out this wooden tankard, and you see he just presses it against the steel bars and just runs it across the bars. Then everyone immediately wakes up from the sound of this with just pain and anger from being woken up by the world's worst alarm clock. And as everyone begins to come to consciousness, you all see this man clad in this beautiful ornate armor. As everyone stares around at each other now, equally confused, rubbing their heads, rubbing their eyes, just trying to figure out what they got themselves into. You see the gentleman takes the tin metal tankard and just kind of passes it back down the line. And he looks around at everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whoever resides in this chamber here. I'm sure many of you are equally as confused, and many of you are wondering what's going on in here. For that, it's for you to find out later. When you repent for your sins and your crimes. This kind of looks around at all of you. For some of you, today is your lucky day. Duke Horatio of our esteemed city and town is willing to offer you freedom and pardon you of your crimes for aiding him in a simple task of a delivery. I'm going to ask this question only once, and I will take the first 6 of you that choose to do so. He kind of looks around. So, which of you sad sods will I be taking to the Duke today? As he looks around at all of you. What do you guys do?
We're all in the jail, is that right?
Everyone's in what looks like a drunk tank.
Look, clearly, Mr. Guard.
HazarD.
Listen, my name is Turbidus. There has been a mistake. I am of the purest heart.
Oh,
I don't understand how I'm in here,
is that
but
so?
if I can get out of here, happy to help out. Happy to help out.
Oh, well, you'll be the first then to set an example.
Do we all have all our stuff?
Well,
We
I've
have all
got
our
5
stuff
more.
in jail?
Nope. You are in like your leathers, your basic clothes.
Cool.
You know, pretty much nothing at all, really.
I will happily lead any 5 others that volunteer. I don't want the guy that lost to a dwarf the other day. I saw that, but anybody else, I'm happy. I will lead, and obviously you can trust me.
I volunteered if that's the case. I want to stand right next to him the entire time.
All right, then we've got 2 men.
I think you got looked up for that horrible name.
Let's had a little. I've
Yeah.
got 3 there.
I volunteer him as well. I got my eye on you, dwarf.
For that tongue, you're especially coming along. All right, 3 more men.
I'm down for a good story. I'll come to watch.
Good story. The story could happen to reside right in here if you remain with the rest of the
We
men.
could use a wood
Yeah.
elf. I don't know about this little dwarf, but we could use a wood elf. Yes, I accept you in our party.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Oh, another goth kid who likes to write in his books.
Listen, you made a big mistake putting me here, but listen, I got no other option, so
I made a mistake. Is that so? Perhaps you'll understand the position you're in when I bring you outside, and you can have a gander of it yourself. Why you all are in here.
What are we delivering?
You'll find out. Duke Horatio's orders, not mine. I am just the watchdog. So, one more.
I've delivered a few bags and dry wood. This
You see, there's a in the back of the room. There's a little halfling that was like sleeping with the Goliath, and he jumps up. I'll go, and he kind of looks in the back. God, these are gonna be the end of me. Fuck it. I'll take five of these. All right, you men.
Guys, what could take 5 people to deliver?
Stand forward. And you see that there are 6 guards, including him, that are present in front of this large cell. And as you guys approach the front of the cell, you see one of them has the key and approaches gingerly to the front and looks to the door and looks at all of you down. And opens the door for you guys. And as you guys walk out, all right, form in a single line, one at a time. And as you guys all gather together in the line, you see that a guard comes up to you, each respectively, and shackles you by your hands. And then there's a chain that connects all 5 of you, going back to the very end, in which it is ordered in by height. So no loose sort of end can be brought there.
Are there any rats or other types of things running around?
I got a rat pet with me, but I haven't seen any others.
Do you often keep rats in your pants?
It's part of my character sheet. He's got a pet rat.
I'm basically interested if there's any animals around in this kind of tank.
You need something to bulk up those pants.
Right now, looks like there's maybe like a couple rats lingering around outside, not in the tank per se, but definitely outside.
Any within like communication distance?
You could certainly try. What would you like to do?
I'd like to speak with animals. Get a little lowdown on this Duke.
Okay.
Nothing but dung beetles.
Let's see real quick. Speak with animals.
I get it for 10 minutes.
So right now, I would say because you are chained up, actually. So the way the spell is used, there's verbal, somatic, and material components to a spell. Verbal is obviously you speak it out, but somatic is having to move your hands around because you're kind of chained. It'd be a little hard to, cast the spell.
I like what you did there. All right, we'll skip it.
Can I persuade the guard that I don't really need to be locked up? Obviously, I'm going to lead this crew. And look at me, I'm trustworthy.
Wait a minute, why don't you persuade the guard to let me free so I can talk to these animals?
Can I persuade the guard to beat the?
I don't know if you're all pure of heart.
Go ahead and roll persuasion then. Sure.
Alrighty,
This kid
persuasion.
doesn't need chains.
Persuasion is. Good lord, I gotta learn where all these are.
So let's check real quick. So
Is it a nat
Like
20?
Got it,
fifth,
got it.
yeah, like 6th from the bottom in the middle.
you have +3 to persuasion.
I don't know how to roll it. What the hell? I see it in my
Click.
list.
Click on the +3 next to the persuasion.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm looking at Connor right now. That's why. My bad.
Don't look at me.
Never seen a hobgoblin before. What do you expect?
I'm really
All
about
right.
to persuade one of these guards to take this.
All right, persuasion. Let's see. Rolling.
He wishes he was a bigger man.
Sir, I take that back. I'll just get back in line. I got it.
He kind of looks over you with a curious eye.
Can I persuade the guard to beat him?
Yeah.
Go,
No, wait, persuasion. I'm rolling already. I got a +5. Damn, of course I roll a 2, so I got a 7. So I got a total of a 7 on that persuasion.
7.
Pissing the guard.
So you see he the main guard, the captain per se of the scenario, approaches Terminus, looks him over. Tiefling. And then just gives him a quick eye down. Stand in line.
I'm very confused.
And then he walks down the line, walks over to you, Rune, and kind of looks you up and down.
Mm.
Oh, you know, I remember you. Yes, of course, I remember you. You were the one who got slapped silly in one hit.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
It wasn't
Wonderful.
one hit. I had him on the ropes.
Are you sure?
That's what the guy told me. the other day.
Perhaps I can just
You don't
smack you
remember?
across the face.
He smacks me.
Just-
Can I roll for intimidation? Like, can I like stand back up and like get in his face and make him think that he made a bad idea?
you could
Try to
certainly
fight this
try.
guy.
All right, wait. Here we go. Oh, here we go. 20. I got 15 plus 5. 20.
20?
Yeah.
You kind of
Pretty
like
much.
slap. He slaps you, and you kind of like you like peel over for a second. You come back, and you kind of like grind your teeth and just like eye him down. He kind of looks back and just gives you a puzzled look back. Turns away, walks back to the front, and he goes, "All right, on me, everybody. No funny business, or I'll lob your head off. Understood?" Good. And he starts to walk ahead as the 6 guards surround you all, sort of walking by each of your sides. You all exit the guardhouse or the stockades in this part of Iron Gate. And as you walk in and leave Iron Gate, or the stockades, and you enter into the main city, you notice that it is a vastly different scene from what you had observed the prior day. In which yesterday the town was very decorated and lively. Today it is very bleak and cloudy and rainy. The ground is all muddy, where it's almost like a downpour outside presently. And you notice that in the strange, and how it was very decorated and well made yesterday, the town is at this point practically destroyed.
I take a deep breath. I take a deep breath and I go, that's the Travel Dean shithole I know.
And it's interesting because it definitely, you could have sworn there was no way it was this way, how this could have happened. And it's some of the sort of the roofing and the paneling and the wooden boards that hold some of the buildings together are just ripped off. Some of the stands are crushed and bludgeoned, splintered in half into tiny bits. And you all, as you're walking around, you kind of look around, and as the guards are walking ahead, the sort of captain sort of turns his head back to all, and he goes, "Do you see now?"
I asked what happened.
Well, I'm sure none of you can remember, given how you were all piss drunk. But it seems that, as noble adventurers you are, went, how do I put this? You put your abilities on display a bit too much here. And you and the others in the tank there, all in for the same reason. All accomplices to one united crime. Duke Horatio, however, is a very forgiving man. And I'm sure when you arrive, you should be on your knees thanking him for what he's going to be doing for you. And as you guys sort of coast on throughout the city, you notice wandering eyes from the civilians of the town are all just observing you guys walk through and all giving you like stink eye and just the look of disappointment and shame to you all.
I give the same look to the people behind me.
I'm smiling the whole time.
Just looking straight disgust. That's it.
I'm just hammered. I don't care. I'm still drunk.
Sort of passing on through that. There's one face that you remember you saw pass by yesterday. A very ostentatious looking figure. Pious by nature, yet not exactly. You recall of his heroic efforts on his where he put his swordsmanship on display on the mud pit jousting, but doesn't appear to be in the same circumstances that you are. And as you guys venture on and you head to the most northern part of the city towards a large estate with a large iron gate around the perimeter of it. This is more of a two-story manor, not quite very beautiful by design. In a way, it's a Victorian sort of design in a way. Very gaudy looking though. A lot of like purples and golds and like ivory looking designs. You kind of walk up to it and it throws you off at first. You're like, what is this? This is like a playhouse or something? What is this? A museum? And as you sort of approach, you see two guards adorned with these sort of same purple and gold sort of tabards and decorative designs with a little like golden feather that comes off the head and like folds down in their face. And they're both holding spears to the side as they look to each other in front of these large, gaudy metal and sort of ivory double doors to the manor. And as the guard approaches, the two of them open the doors and stand to the side. And as you walk into the main chamber, you see that it's a large circular chamber with two sort of staircases that round up to the top floor to the second floor. Hanging above is a large sort of crystal-looking, maybe diamond, who knows, chandelier. Very beautiful in a way, but also really tacky, but also probably expensive. And as you guys enter the chamber, you hear a clap from down the hallway. And as you guys your gaze affixes to the echo throughout the chamber on the top floor, you see what only I could describe as a large, fat oaf-looking fella that starts traipsing on through the top floor and walking down the sort of circular staircase that winds down. He has a sort of definitely a balding head with almost like a monk's cut on the back, yet he's really trying to fold that hair over to cover up his shameful looking hair at this point. He has a very how would I put this? I guess Victorian would be a way to put it, or a very bold-looking mustache that comes out and twirls around, and a very pointed goatee that extends to the bottom. As he sort of comes down the staircase, he claps on every step as you all approach. And as you're all locked up and sort of lined up in this chamber, you see that he looks around to all of you. Well done! So, Rory, your reputation precedes yourself. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you all?
Now that I
And woman.
now that I see him and I'm from like the neighboring town, can I like recall any history from him? Can I do like a history check to recall if I actually know who this dude is?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so let's roll a history. Oh shit. That's a nat 20 plus 2.
Too. You would be familiar in the sense that this is he goes by the name of Duke Horatio. You know about his family history and a recollection of some events that transpired in which his wife and his daughter died in this freak incident that was widely mentioned across the land, and that there was sort of headlines for the Duke executing at one point what was a family friend that became a murderer for the murder of his wife and daughter. And you see as he
the Duke Horatio himself, man of mystery.
He sort of walks down the staircase with almost like a leopard print purple cloak behind him, with a white almost poof and lining that extends up, and these very like ridiculous looking leather pauldrons to try and make his shoulders look broader than they actually are. And as he walks down, he folds his hands behind his back and looks around all of you. Ah, it appears my reputation even precedes me. I have fans. Would you look at that? Well, gentlemen, I'm sure you're all aware at this point why you are here. Yes?
No.
No.
Hell no.
No, I think there's been a mistake. I should not be in jail with these.
So,
Criminals.
Rory, it appears your reputation does not precede you. As he walks down. Very well, very well. And you see he begins to sort of pace along the line and look at all of you. And he stops at a second in front of each of you. Starts with you, Connor, and he looks you up and down. He kind of looks you around at your body and sort of like grabs your arm first, like your bicep for a second, just gives it a quick like tap.
I'm ready to flinch at him. Can I flinch at him? Just the intimidation, seriously.
Yeah, go for it.
Ah, man. It's +1. All right. Son of a 5.
5. So you kind of like he like pats you on the arm, and like right as his hand leaves your arm, that is when you flinch, and he kind of like he jumps back just a little bit, but he's like and then he walks down to Turbidus.
I'm trying to charm him.
Um,
I want to charm him with my loyalty to law. I should not be here.
what would you say? What do you want to say then?
Look at me. My kind would never. Listen. I don't. They haven't explained to us what happened yesterday. We have no idea. I woke up in jail. I clearly had a little bit to drink last night, but look at me, dude.
He was
Look at me.
that
My whole life
wasted
has
after
been
one beer.
devoted to justice.
Make a persuasion check.
I didn't do well this last time. Let's see.
Tibibidus went down as easy with one beer.
I got
Destroyed
23.
you with one slap.
23.
I like the dwarf again.
He looks at you. Please, you. I mean, of course you wouldn't be here under these circumstances. No, shame on me. If anything, you'd be here under worse circumstances. Look at you, as he touches your horns on the top of your head. You
My tail slaps his hand.
even for worse than what these men are here for. Even better to have you here standing amongst these ruffians. Well,
Hey, dwarf, is his vision all right?
I look over and I say, of course a blood hunter doesn't think he belongs in jail.
I'll show you this stuff.
proceeds on the line and looks at you, Raytheon, and he looks at the ears. Wood elf. Interesting. I haven't seen much of you all kind come up here as of recently. Well, I'm sure you fit the bill perfectly for this. Oh, moving on. And then he goes down to Rune, and with the red marks on, or bruise and a red mark on his cheek at this point, he looks at you and he goes, He like rubs your cheek for a moment. Do I know you from somewhere?
Maybe. Have you been to the northeast section of the region?
No, I have a city to run after all. I can't just leave Irongate and abandon my people. Come now.
I know where you know him from. He got his shit kicked yesterday.
Do I? Ah! You were the one who got slapped silly by the halfling! Yes, wonderful, wonderful.
Reputation precedes you, man.
Can I intimidate it? Can I intimidate him and ask if he'd like to get slapped right now?
Go ahead and make
Yes.
a perception check.
Come on, no way. Ooh, give me a 22.
22. So you kind of like, he's like laughing.
Oh.
You sort of like gather yourself and look up at him, and you give him this mean mugging look, and as you ask him that, and your voice kind of like you're like, "You want to get slapped now?" And he kind of, oh dear. And he just scurries on along to the next person in line, and he goes down.
Makes me feel better.
He goes down to the line where Flamboyant is standing, and he's sort of like he's pretty short, not as short as you are, but he's almost as short. So he drops down a little, and he like looks you over.
I'm 5 feet tall.
He's about like 5'3", so it's a very like he's dropping down a couple inches to get with your level. He's looking
Biggest
around.
dwarf he'll ever come across.
Gets on a bended knee.
Yeah.
What is this? I've never seen a dwarf like this before.
You bet your arse.
Oh, my. You are an interesting one. Perhaps our relations with the dwarves could be better, but that is all right. That is all right. And he pats your arm real quick. Strong.
Got that right?
Sneaky, perhaps.
Perhaps.
You'll be fine for this. Very well, so Rory. You've acquired quite the team for this scenario.
Hey, my lord. You mind if we go get that halfling out of the jail and throw it in for destroyer?
Oh, perhaps that'll be something I can entertain myself with later.
Can I yell something at the dwarf in Dwarvish because I know Dwarvish?
Oh, here we go.
Can I tell him just to watch it? I just want to tell him to watch his back in Dwarvish, and I want to but not only that, but I want to make him kind of like realize that maybe he should just start shutting up. What would I have to roll for that?
So roll a intimidation check for that. Let's see. Flamboyant, roll a general charisma check.
So I got a 14 on the intimidation.
14, okay.
So is this like a saving throw charisma?
Just straight, if you go on the big charisma box at the top.
At the very top? All right. Oops. I rolled a 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
He beats the DC by he beats your roll by 1. So
Of course he does.
you sit on the line to him in Dwarvish.
Can I say right back to him? Do I have to roll if Dwarvish is like my own language, or can I just say?
No. It's just because
I was just rolling for intimidation.
Yeah,
I wasn't rolling
okay.
to speak Dwarvish.
Oh, okay. So what I'll just say back to him. Next time you best be biting your tongue.
I look at both of them and in Dwarvish because I also speak Dwarvish. So you're both bitches.
The other two of you that are just sitting there, you hear Mugen Frog. See Frog off. Ah, two fires. And you're both just like, what the? And the Duke is looking around at you. Well, whatever the chitter chatter is, cut it out. Your royalty is speaking. Anyways, so as Sir Rory should have mentioned to you, but has failed to do so, what you are all here for is, in fact, a little task of mine. I need someone to do a little delivery run for me. And who better than some convicts who were thrown in the drunk tank for destroying my town? Who better? Right, gentlemen?
And woman.
And woman.
Can I say in Dwarvish, that's a woman?
And I say right back, you've clearly never seen one.
As he's like eyeing down the line very intensely. Right, gentlemen?
I'm just standing at attention.
Can I like examine the room that we're in and like see if there's anything interesting around?
It's still looking for animals.
Mostly describe what I mean. There's like, there's the chandelier and there's the winding staircase and there's a big like rug,
Yep.
carpet, and like purple and gold colors thrown about.
Cool.
Can I try to all right, so if there's nothing really else going around, I have a pretty high charisma. Can I try to persuade him with my charisma to kind of let on to what this thing really is?
What would you say to him?
maybe I just get close to him and I was like, you gonna tell us what's really going on here, or
Well, you guys are also still held in line by the chains and the guards. that are
okay?
Well, if that's the case,
Wait. I speak like another language, don't I? I speak like 6 languages. I forget the language. All right, okay. What does he speak?
The Duke?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
you know it's common. Okay.
Common at the least.
Common at the least. So he wouldn't speak Celestial or Infernal.
You'd have no idea.
You would have
You
to
start
like,
talking.
you'd have to like investigate him or try.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Like I have that's wisdom, right?
Well, it wouldn't be a check that you roll for that. It'd be like what you would actually say, like
You
how
have to
you
have a way to do it.
you actually have to
couldn't
gauge the
just look at it.
scenario. It's like acted out essentially.
All right, so screw it. So all right, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna start the sentence in Celestial, and the first half of the sentence in Celestial, and the second half in Infernal. And I'm gonna say, and I want to using my charisma, I want to try to get him to tell me what's really going on, and let's see if he bites.
Just gonna throw out 2 random languages.
Yeah, one of them's gonna speak. One of them's gonna hit. All right, fine. I'll just do one. I'll just do. He looks like a
It's like
Celestial.
Spanglish. It's like Spanglish, man. You know.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like a Celestial. I'll say it in Celestial.
It's
So
like
with my
gambling on
charisma,
every horse to win.
with my Celestial in Celestial, I'm going to use my charisma to try to get him to tell me what's going on. So
What do
let's
you
see if
say?
he bites.
What do you say, Slash?
Say what you're gonna say.
You could be cattle prodded.
So this is in Celestial. So I'm basically saying, like what I said before. I'm going to say, are you really gonna tell us what's really going on here, or are you just gonna lead us out to die, just like that?
So you you say that out, you let that out in Celestial, and after the sentence finishes, he kind of looks back. Did anybody know what he just said?
Figured as much.
Does anybody have any idea?
Dookie, my boy. I think what we're trying to get at is we'll deliver whatever you want us to deliver. You're gonna have to tell us what we're delivering.
I'm sorry. What was your name?
He called you Dookie, by the way.
Oh shit.
What was your name again?
Raytheon.
Raytheon
Stormraven. You know my name. Don't play games.
Well, Raytheon. Perhaps when you're in someone's city and you're addressing royalty, you should title them properly.
Dookie, my man's.
Well,
When you're addressing royalty,
I
you
don't
shouldn't
know
put us
these
in
guys. I met them.
He's kidding.
My man.
He's kidding. You're a funny one, but I'm not going to lose my temper here.
That's probably a good idea.
Very well. Getting to the point, I see. Men who want to get to work and not chit-chat. I appreciate that. Very well, then. So, I have the delivery that must be made western here of the mountain range. There is a small little farming village called Kalingam, and I require a delivery to be made there. Given how Kalingam has been a little late on their payment for our wheat here, I require you to deliver a couple bales of hay and wheat to them to make their, as they are reputable mead seller and trader across the kingdoms. We require more mead, simply, since obviously it was all consumed yesterday in our wonderful festival. And I need someone to do the delivery work for me, given how our guards here in Sir Rory is very tied up at the moment. However, Sir Rory will certainly be a wonderful guide in this circumstance, won't you, Sir Rory? And he just nods back to the Duke.
Wait. So you're sending the drunks to get more mead?
Yes! I'm not... Well, to a degree. I am sending the drunks with the proper wheat and barley to make more mead. But you will not be making the mead, you will be simply delivering proper materials and then returning back. In whence you will be released from your bindings and cleared from your 50,000 gold dues for destroying the city.
50,000.
50,000.
Is that 50,000 each or 50,000 altogether?
Wonderful, you said. Well, if I had to put a number on it, given how each individual tavern, and well, stall here. Each stall is worth about 5,000 gold to prepare. Even now, about 10 of them are destroyed. One tavern has been obliterated. One general store. One smithy, and let's just see what else. Yes, 2 of our factories have been obliterated. I'd say about 50,000 ahead. Yes.
Rune, I mean,
Is there an
I get
ATM
where
around here?
I get where you're coming from, Rune, but as you remember, the notorious Bigalus, you're never going to
Notorious
sample your
Bigalus.
own. You're never going to sample your own supply. We could be trusted with some mead, man.
So,
It's
gentlemen
10 mead commandments.
and lady,
Oh my god.
do you accept this offer on behest of your very, very gracious Duke?
Yeah, Dookie,
Sure.
we in. Let's
You gonna give us a wagon to pull it?
Of course! Of course! However, you will not be riding the wagon. You will be merely sitting in the back, chained up, waiting. And if you are required for guard duty, you will be done so.
I have really crap charisma, but can I say to try and convince him? I'm pretty sure it was the Asimir that did most of the damage. Can he take a bigger cut?
The Asimir is still in the cell.
No, you're the Asimir.
Oh no, I am the Asimir.
Oh,
You really are having trouble figuring out your identity.
that is correct. You are speaking of Mr. Shadowsbane. Yes, of course. Well, Mr. Shadowsbane, in fact, was not an accomplice to the crime. But in fact, he was the one who stopped you all.
What a
He
cunt.
was the one who brought justice to the situation. In fact.
That's a
I'm
lie.
sure it was me.
That's a lie.
So, Mr. Shadowsbane, I'm sure will show up at some point, and if he does, he will accompany you as well.
So
Sure, he
you
will be-
want us to? Sorry, sir. You want us chained into the back of the cart?
Yes,
So we're not really delivering.
Can
you
I?
will be delivering because once you arrive, there will be plenty of stuff for you to carry inside.
I see.
By
And
the
of
way,
course,
I
I'm
rolled
not-
I rolled a 9 on my charisma to get Chuck in trouble.
he just kind of glares over at the rest of the group.
Can I try to break my chains right now?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, me and McNucks try to break our chains right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go, you roll first. I don't want to roll a 2. You're messed up.
Is it a strength or what are
That's
they
just a
rolling?
top strength, right?
Sorry, athletics.
Strength.
Acrobatics?
It's athletics.
Athletics, yep.
Athletic. I got you. Here we go. 20 plus 3, 23.
23.
Of course. I got a 22.
You hear,
I got a 17 plus 5.
you hear one of the things kind of like, and the Duke is just staring at the both of you. Continue. I'm waiting. As you're like, oh, this is exquisite.
I step beside the Duke and watch with him.
So hard. Like, hey. As both of you hear it, as the chain begins to crack slightly, and you hear as you feel it slightly getting looser. He's just staring at you, and you see a couple of the guards that are staring at you. And you see as the captain of the guard approaches both of you in line, it's just looking at you. Go on. And you see as he draws his long sword. I'm waiting.
I look at Sir Rory, and I address Sir Rory. I go, "Hey, Roy boy, can we get out of here?"
As he turns, well, I'm waiting on these men. As you hear, you're struggling even harder. And you feel it's coming loose. And you also feel the gaze of everyone in the room affixed on both of you.
All right, I stop.
You keep
We don't
trying.
have any weapons, by the way, guys. We're still prisoners.
Boys, we don't
I'm
need
mad
that. Let's
athletic
just,
though. I'm mad athletic. I could easily break the
I'm
chains
mad
and then
athletic.
jump disarm the guard and kill him, but I won't. I won't because I'll let the I'll let the quest continue.
50 grand to go to
Or-
the let's just go to
You know what? Kind of being noble, man. I would say that he would tell the Duke, "Listen, I'm all for the job, but I will not be chained up. You will take these chains off of me."
Ooh.
I like that.
Okay. Make a either persuasion or intimidation with advantage for that.
Which is better? Intimidation. Yeah.
So roll intimidation with advantage. So roll it twice, take the higher number.
Gotcha. One is all right. So that's 11. The second roll is 13.
13.
Yep.
Kind of approaches you and looks you around. Well, I suppose the chains wouldn't do much for you, anyways. I suppose I can make one exception. And perhaps if you don't kill Sir Rory, there will be money involved in it for you.
Max, bet. I will.
Very well. Sir Rory, please untie this man.
Ah.
And Sir Rory just and looks at you. Don't cause any trouble now.
Unbelievable. You with the hobgoblin out?
Fall slack on you.
His fists are his weapons. He kills everyone.
It's the sword.
Dude,
The swords are well adorned around you as everyone's watching you under like a microscope practically now.
Mhm.
The Duke is like, well, I hope that is fitting for you. Seems you're better off without those anyways.
Duke, with all due respect, I'm new to this town. I apologize for whatever happened last
Yes.
night. I assure you I had nothing to do with it. Can I speak to your supervisor?
Oh,
Super-
you would like to go to chain of command.
This is now Karen.
Oh, so sorry. Can you believe
Are you the top, sir?
I run this town. Of course I'm the top.
I see. We'll deliver your head.
So, Mr. I don't even care what your name is.
Service.
Turbidus.
Kabibidus.
I am the highest figure of authority in
Well,
this town.
Well deserved, sir. We will
Of
we'll
course.
fix this. We will fix this.
So allow me to ask you then, what complaints did you have for my superior figure?
Hey, Duke, instead of having this pissing contest, can we deliver this thing, or the mead's gonna go bad?
Expeditiously! I respect a man who wishes to do that expeditiously. Very well. So, Rory, take them to their cots and bind them down, except for that one. And he points to Connor. And get on the delivery. I am impatient, and Killingham is impatient as well. And he waves you off. And as the doors open from the guards, and you see a couple of them, the swords are affixed to you all. And you see that now two carts are brought out at this point with wagons behind them of probably about 4 additional wagons of wheat and barley that are sort of like tied up behind them and sort of chained together. And the sorority affixes you all into your own unique carts. And you see standing outside, sitting on one of the carts, driving it, is Thorim Shadowsbane, as the bringer of justice in these events. So he sits on one of the carts and he turns back to all of you. Ha 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 ha! Hello there! How are you all doing? I see your new positions have been acquainted well.
Finally, a friend. How are you, sir?
Finally, a friend.
Well, I'm doing significantly better than you all are.
Agreed.
Oh, Lord. And so Rory brings you all up and it fixes you in your carts. And as you all are locked down except for Connor, the horses gather off and sort of a group of civilians sort of are all watching you guys as you're sitting in the cart. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and roll a D8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2. Okay. Rune, you see an errant tomato comes flying at you. Someone in the crowd.
You're my favorite.
Can I roll to catch it in my mouth and eat it?
Yeah, make a dexterity check.
Dexterity. Oh, that's up top, right?
Mm-hmm. It's general dexterity.
Oh, that's nice. I got 20.
20? Yeah, sure. I'll say as it's coming by, you just kind of like, and it just gets stuck in your teeth.
I
Nice.
look over and I say, "You're real good at catching stuff with your face."
Take this one, you pissant! And you see another one gets lobbed over to you. That one goes errant. Another one. Yeah, you get out of here! You destroyed our fucking town! And that one misses wide also.
These people suck.
At least I got a tomato out of it.
And then you see that Raytheon, you're sitting in the cart. Like, what Holmes? What are you doing up north here? This one flies over and hits you like on the chest. It splatters all in your leather armor, and you're like, oh, come on, man.
I am insanely embarrassed. Head down between my legs in the back of the cart, just looking at the floor.
This one gets thrown at you, and you duck down, and you hear and you feel like some liquid flowing down your cheek, and you look up and you see the tomato like pierce your horn. Like, oh, food for the journey.
I've never seen an Asimir with a horn before.
Perfect.
And Ricochet, one of the men in the crowd, run up to you. I know you. You're the last I drank with the other night.
Oh, all right. At least
Mighty one is so fierce. You even got yourself locked away. I think I fell in love now, Missy.
I think he meant me.
yeah.
A fiery woman from Dundral.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you were a man.
Oh, the kitty has claws. I'll be back for you one day, my love.
Gonna grow a pair.
Waddles off.
Nice.
Torm turns back to you guys. I'll be ready to journey off, Sir Rory. Sir Rory just, oh God, I guess so. And he just reluctantly, hits the horse, and the carts start to take off now. And the large gates of the town open up, and as you guys begin to make your way out of the city grounds, journey off into whatever the Eastern Kingdom has to hold for you.
Still chained up, right?
Yeah.
What's up?
We're still chained up.
Everybody
You're all
but Connor.
you're all
Except for
still
me.
chained up except for Connor.
Yeah.
To each other
Goddamn.
still? Yes.
Yep, to each other and your own respective cards.
Who is Rune next to? Who am I next to?
Let's see here.
Didn't you say it was by like height or something?
And when you were in line initially, but now it's really not by height since you're all
Okay.
just chained to your carts. Let's see.
We're all
Rune,
individually chained. Got it.
yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's see. Rune, you would be next to. Let's put you next to Turbidus.
Turbidus. How are we chained up right now? How am I
So
locked
you're
up?
sitting down. You're like held like this, where the chain is kind of locked down to your
Floor.
your side right here, and you're held down to the floor.
Okay, all right, never mind then. Okay.
And Sir Rory starts taking the lead, and Thorum takes the lead as well. And the carts they march on ahead into the forests of Trevalden, the Eastern Kingdom. So the cart order would be Rune would be next to Turbidus in one cart, with Thorum as the driver. The other cart would be Connor, Flamboyant, and Raytheon, with Sir Rory driving the cart.
Can I do like a nature check to see what kind of animals are around?
Wouldn't be nature, just general perception.
His fucking elf
Alright,
and his
cool.
animals.
It's my thing, man.
It's my
all,
thing.
all he wants is animals at this point.
Oh, sick. I got a nat 20 plus 5. So
20 plus 5. Okay. It's definitely a wide variety of forest life, and you see a lot of squirrels, some rabbits sort of hanging around, different varieties of birds flying around, occasionally the wandering deer and doe. And at some point, you swear you look on the ground and feel like you see bear tracks.
cool. Can I do like my best bear call like ever to like attract the bears to our cart?
Yeah, roll a, let's see.
I'm interested in causing a ruckus for the guards.
I'm gonna roll here and see. Okay, so you like look around, you notice the bear tracks, and you look back up and you're like, and everyone kind of turns back to you and looks around.
Yeah, what the hell you doing, man?
Did you just call a bear?
And nothing happens.
Damn it.
Nothing. You just roared like a bear for no reason.
So Rory's, shut up back there.
It's the closest I've heard any of you sound like a man yet.
Gods, I can't believe I got put on this mission.
Roy boy, you don't seem too happy to be on this mission. What's the deal with Dookie boy?
None of your concern. Just as it is being on the guard, that's all. Starts marching.
All
out.
guards are bastards, as they say.
Here's a quick question. What are these buggies being carried by? Are they carried by like 2 horses, 3 horses? How many?
Two horses.
Animals.
Talk to the horses, you elf.
You know what?
I can't move my hands. I'm still tied down. You know damn well I'd be talking to these horses.
We lost camera.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my camera. It just stopped working.
Don't worry about it.
But as I'm troubleshooting that,
All right. Would I be able to mount a horse?
mount a horse.
And use it instead of being-
Because he's not chained down.
Gonna break your nobility?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
No, I'll be right alongside. It's just not, let's say, you want to sit here, man. Let me mount a horse, man, and ride along with you.
There is a seat in the front you could try and take up if he lets you. You're on the cart with
Raytheon and
so Rory's driving. Make a persuasion check.
okay.
Flamboyant Raytheon and Connor on a cart.
Persuasion check. Where's that? Here we go. God darn, 1.
One.
You don't have any like pluses on that?
No.
He kind of looks back to you. Stay back. There's hardly enough space up here for me. It's comfy enough back there, I'm sure. Well, I guess. You're unchained, I guess. Reach down into there's a lever on the bottom there. And you after doing a little looking around, you see like what looks like a little latch. Pull it back and you slide it open. And you see some stuff laying around down below, almost like a very small lower compartment. Wouldn't be big enough to fit any of you. But it's enough to fit some storage down there. And as you look below, you see some bedrolls, some tents. And as you start looking around a little more, you begin to see what might acquaint to your gear. That's what you guys all had taken away from you. And you kind of pull out just like a bedroll and just throw it up, and it's a little comfier. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, Raytheon the Flamboyant. I just gotta relax, man.
Can I roll like strength to like break my chains, but all I want to do is just like lay down across the space that he just gave up?
You can kind of lay down. That's where you're at now. You're not chained down to the point where you can still like move your legs around in like an area. So you could lay down, but your arms would just be at your side. A little uncomfortable.
So since I'm 5 foot and don't take up much space, I just comfortably lay down where he just gave up. Like taking up 3 seats in an airplane.
Let's do. Let's have Turbidus. I want you to roll a d12 for me.
Is that in the other cart?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the cart. Roll a d12. So what you do is you go down to the when you
The dice. Yeah, I got it.
you go to the dice d12.
What am I rolling for? What is Joe doing to me?
I'm not doing anything.
Just a general D12. Just
Here
for
it
me.
is. D12. Roll it.
Your DM gives you an order, man.
All right. That's not good. Why is it not popping up big? It looks like a 2, but I'm not getting the big.
2? Okay.
I'm not getting the notification in the corner that time.
That's fine. Yeah, you probably won't get the notification for it. It's fine. So some time passes on, and from what was once the sort of chilly, foggy day that goes along, the slight patter of rain begins to hit you guys. You're all as the cart's driving along, and the carts are exposed for you guys.
Okay.
And Sir Rory is driving along. He goes, shit. And you see he throws a hood up on his cloak. And you see Thorim over to the side goes, this rain will not be enough to thump Thorim Shadow's bane. And Sir Rory just, God, as he's driving along. Some time passes and the rain begins to pick up a little heavier now, or instead of it being a sort of a gentle shower, now becomes to a pretty moderate rainfall that begins to slowly fill up the carts to a degree, and sort of sweat the wood in general uncomfortability. And the ground begins to become a little bit harder to traverse as your pace slows down. Some time passes a little while in.
Can I ask? Starts with an R. Can I ask the guard?
Rory?
Rory, thank you. Can I ask Rory? Look, I don't even know where we are at this point. I'm clearly not going to run away. It's raining. I can't even wipe my forehead. Any chance we can walk with these carts? I'll help push.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I assist with the persuasion?
That is a 15, but it doesn't say plus 3 or anything. What's going on here? The dice is 15. Here it is. Okay, now I've got my thing up. It's 18. It's 18.
18. He kind of looks back to you guys. You're saying you're uncomfortable back there.
See where this is going. I do. I just think no one is going to leave at this point. We have to pay off these debts.
God. If I let you walk, will you stop fucking complaining?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Scout's honor. Asamir's honor.
Scouts honor.
Samesies, Roy boy. Let me out.
Can you guys just hear me snoring because I fell asleep? I'm chewed up and I'm absolutely passed out to sleep. Completely comfortable. Just
I'll even push this guy's cart.
You don't have to push. Just stop
horses.
fucking complaining and making me do more work than I have to.
Agreed. Thank you, sir.
Please.
Did somebody slap the destroyer? He's knocked out again.
He holds the cart up and hops off and walks over to where you are and and the chains.
I bow. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You can walk free for a little while.
Can I just raise my hands and like look at him, like expecting to be next?
You're like, hello. It kind of looks over to you. You have to earn it. And he gets back to the front of the cart and.
Hey Roy, I could get you. I have some knowledge about what these parts. I'd love to get some of that rain off your face.
Oh, isn't that
wonderful? I can show you how.
I would love to not be here right now. So don't we all have something in common?
I know how to make this thing called an umbrella. You're gonna love it. Just I need my hands.
And you know I have something called a hood that acts in the same way.
I wonder if this Asimir walks as good as a tiefling.
I have one of my things. One of my traits is I constantly stuff bread in my pockets. So I start passing out a little bit of bread
on the side. You're like,
there you go, buddy. There you go, guys. We're on this together. That's not bread.
It starts looking around. Thorim goes, ha ha, noble in nature.
You want some?
I am fine. I had a grand meal before our exit of town.
Nice.
It is
Man, I hope this was olive bread when it was started.
Rune, roll a d12 for me.
I'm asleep.
You are. Roll a d12 for me.
It's even bumping around, dude.
You said
I know what you're
D12. You
rolling
said
for.
just one D12.
Yep, 1d12.
I know what you're rolling for.
6.
6, okay. So a couple hours pass by on your journey. And as the time passes on, nothing of interest happens. The rain begins to give up a little bit at this point. But as you guys progress a little further east now, you notice the temperature slowly beginning to drop now. As sort of dusk is beginning to settle in on the day, and as you're beginning to approach the mountain pass, the mountain pass winds are getting colder and colder as the closer you approach. And as some more time passes on and darkness begins to fall, Raytheon, roll a d12 for me, please.
Sir. I rolled a 1.
1. Okay. So as you guys are continuing on marching along the way, and as time passes by, darkness begins to settle in now. And for those of you who have dark vision, can see a gentle sort of dim light that is taking place now.
In front of us.
And as darkness begins to settle, the cart speed begins to slow down as Sir Rory is kind of coming to a halt at this point. To a degree, and I think, let's see. Let's have Turbidus make a perception check for me.
Perception. Ooh, I have a -1 on that one. That's going to be a 16.
16. Okay. So, as you guys are marching along in this cart on your journey of boredomness, unpleasantries, and just miserable feelings all around, Turbidus, you swear you catch a sound out of the corner of your eye.
Okay.
And what sounds maybe like a branch that snaps
Okay.
as you're moving along, and your head jumps to the side for a moment.
You guys hear that?
No one else.
Nobody? Nobody heard that.
What is it?
What
Could
you
be
talking
nothing, I
about,
just-
you tiefling ass mare bastard?
I get that a lot. I'm not sure. I think I heard something over to our left.
You see the cart that comes to a stop now. What is it now?
Are we by the farm?
Uh,
I'm
So-
asking the guard.
what was the question you asked?
I'm asking the guard. Are we at the farm? Could it be
No.
the farmers?
We're not even close to the farm. We still have to pass the mountain ridge, and
Oh,
Can I
it's on the other side of the mountain.
can I do a check to notice things about the environment, because my wisdom's relatively high.
make a perception check.
A perception check?
Perception
Yeah.
check.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
8th from the
Okay.
bottom.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Can I do a perception check too?
19. 19.
19. The 19, as you're looking around, you hear another what sounds like the forest lion, and you start to peek over, and it's hard to see further out in that way as the rain is still going and darkness is hit for everyone.
Can I do one more thing? I can do I have divine sense, which lets me detect good and evil until the end of my next turn. How do I do that bad boy?
So divine sense lets you detect, I believe, fiends, aberrations, and undead.
Yeah, fiend, any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet.
Okay.
That is not behind total cover. Total cover.
It'd be just like you. It's kind of like an innate action that you just kind of like your eye
Okay.
flicker and glow for a moment.
Okay.
You want to use that?
Yeah, I got 4 of them. So Yeah, let's do 1.
Okay, so your eyes sort of flicker for a brief moment, and as the sort of the effect of divine sense takes place, you see one glow that's coming from the cart. That is Thorum, Shadow's Bane, but nothing else in the forest.
Can I
okay.
do a nature check to see if whatever Chuck heard is anything related to like the woods and animals and shit going around?
It was mostly just the snapping of twigs and branches you heard, so it could be.
Okay.
I mean, it could be anything, but you probably could just be some wildlife.
Hey, Roy boy, you know what would be really helpful right now? If you had someone who grew up in the woods.
Oh, is that so? And what would you do in these circumstances, Wood Boy?
What?
Wood boy.
I don't know, Roy boy. I'd probably help you figure out what that was.
God.
Maybe
Is
you can let me
everyone
out for
trying
a
to
sec,
break
please.
free?
Just not break free so much as just not have my hands tied to my waist.
Oh my God!
Semantics, man. You know.
I'll help you watch him.
Everyone here has a problem. Everyone here has a complaint. Nobody can just fall in line and follow orders.
I never thought the elf would speak so casually.
It's more of like I'm trying to deliver you a thing. You got me tied up. I'm kind of feeling like I'm being delivered. You know.
Make a persuasion check real quick.
Alrighty. That's gonna be a 13.
13. Also make an insight check.
13.
Both, huh?
Alright. Doubles. Oh shit. That's
got
a
the same-
solid 4.
Okay. So for the perception
Four.
check, or for the persuasion check, he's kind of reluctant in it, but he's God. You see, he trudges off the front of his cart and sloshes down into the mud and approaches the cart and walks around the side and looks over to you. Just, please promise me you won't cause a problem.
Roy boy, you could trust me. Cut from the same cloth.
Oh God, I'm gonna get killed for this. And he just, and the chains fall slack in the cart. All right, do your thing.
All right. I'm just gonna.
All right.
I'm gonna like.
Druid, go
just
find
like-
out what that was.
I'm gonna like do my. I'm very happy that my hands are finally free, so I kind of do something with my hands. I'm not trying to cast a spell or anything this second, but
Jazz hands.
I do a little jazz hands and I do a nature check against the forest around us.
What are you trying to observe? Like, what do you?
I'm trying to see if the crackling was the bears again or if it was something else.
Okay, yeah, make a nature check.
12.
12. In regards to the snapping of the branch, do you know how a bear would sound when it comes to that sort of intensity or that weight on a branch? It definitely did not sound as heavy as a bear that was collapsing in on the twigs or branches of the forest. It sounded definitely lighter, a lighter snap.
Cool. I look back at Rory and I say, "See, you let me out. Coast is clear. We're good to go. Let's get moving."
Herbertus, where are you right now?
I am still standing by the back of the cart, just staring off into where I thought I heard something.
By the back of the cart. Okay. So as Rory's like, all right, let's get going. And he starts to hop off the cart and you hear another branch. All of you now hear it
All right. I grab my bow.
in the forest now.
I haven't asked permission, but I grab my bow.
So you just run in, you just run to the side and just
I just grab it and I'm ready. I'm ready. And I start walking a little bit towards the sound and investigate.
Okay. Yeah, make an investigation check.
Now I have an A next to it. Does that mean I get 2 of them?
For your particular advantage on that, I believe it involves certain creatures.
Okay.
Any fiends, undead. In this case, it wouldn't be because Hunter's
Okay.
Den would apply to the situation. So just a straight check of just +5 to the roll. So
That's a 20 then.
20.
Hey, can we pause outside of the character? The rolls, they're all out of 20, so it's kind of like above 10 is kind of a minor success. Is that how this works? Like, how does
So
that?
the way DCs are typically regarded in terms of how they're set is typically it's 10 to 30. So you have 10 is like an easy check, 15 is a medium check, 20 is a hard check, 25 is a very hard check, and a 30 is near impossible.
So you kind of have those in your head of how hard it should be to do.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's how I'm gauging the situation. Like when it comes to in
because we've hit some 20s and we've not accomplished it, and I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. So when it comes to like, trying to like break down the noble or the guards in that situation,
almost impossible. Yeah.
The chains were breaking. So like they were pretty much close to being broken apart. When it comes to DCs typically are on scales of 5, but sometimes they're reduced or enhanced by 1 or above. The DC for breaking the chains fully in one swift go was a 24.
What's DC?
DC is dice check.
Dice check. Okay.
So when it's 24 is like typically is seen as a very hard check. 25 is like you need like a mat. The only way you can get it is with a natural 20 typically on just roll within a particular ability.
I got it. I just knowing that some of them are 25 or 30 helps. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
23.
Like, some of them with like
25.
a 20, some of them with like a 25. In particular, of like trying to persuade the guards to let you go, it would be a very hard sort of situation for them to be like, yeah, you're good, you can go.
Right. Okay.
Which is why the DC was higher than most checks, and which is why there are some successes with the 20s and stuff. But with others, it's a circumstance where it would need to be a high, it would really need to be like a 25 and above to convince them in that situation. It also depends, and the DC can also fluctuate depending on how you handle the situation. Where, in a circumstance where if you can convince me as to why the role should apply or how you would justify that given the circumstance, the DC could be lowered. So in the instance of where Connor tried to persuade the Duke of like, hey, I'm a noble, like I don't really belong in these chains, let me out. Sort of the reasoning behind it is what dropped the DC, which is why 13 was like, that would be easy to kind of describe to him that a nobility doesn't belong in chains even in these circumstances. So it's a lot of that's when it comes to where it comes to you guys as well, where if you can tell me why you're doing something and go and describe it and convince me of it, sometimes I might not even require the check. I just say you succeed or fail. So so part of it plays on how you play the situation, how you describe the situation, etc. That can determine how I set the DC of it or anything along those lines. So
in this scenario, do I need to say, because I want to go investigate with my bow drawn, do I need to say I'm investigating, but I also want to be stealthy, or do I just say, look, I'm just going to investigate?
Investigating and investigating and stealthy would be 2 different roles. One investigation, one stealth. And it also depends.
It would also require you to have your bow.
I got my bow.
Yeah, the bow you grab right away. In terms of, so for example, like when you say like I want to make like a nature check, or I want to make an investigation check, or I want to make a perception check, instead of just saying I want to make this check,
just describe what we want to do, right?
Describe what you want to do, and I'll tell you what check to make.
All right, I'm cool.
Because just like just throwing the roll and deciding what you want to do, it might not be applicable to the situation.
All right. So yeah, we heard the second snap. I grab the bow. I start walking swiftly towards the second.
You'd be investigation, which you got a what was it?
20.
20, and then make a stealth check for me.
Okay, so I am okay. Good. Yeah, I'm walking swiftly, but I don't want to be loud.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I got a 23.
I just had a weird dream where a bunch of nerds were talking about dice.
So 23. Very nimbly and deftly and stealthily, you maneuver your way along the spots, avoiding the very obvious branches along the path and the spots of maybe where the ground looks a little bit wetter than normal, where it might make a, like in the ground when you really crunch on it with some mud, like the equivalent of a wet fart. And you nimbly dodge those. And as you start to sort of peer on the corner, you see what looks like footsteps.
What kind of footsteps?
Humanoid. So like a human, maybe elf, hard to tell, but in that sort of like human footprint.
It catches my eye that he's kind of veering off course now, bow in hand, and I look at this tiefling and I quickly size him up and realize he's probably not the right guy to run out into the woods by himself. And I also look back and I see that like Rory and the guards aren't really paying too much attention to him. So I run up behind him just far enough that I'm sort of like watching over him like a good brother or homie from the hood. And I'm not interfering, but I'm just like right behind him. And I also like I'm looking at the ground and probably seeing the same thing he's seeing in the ground.
Yeah, I'm looking back at you and saying human footsteps.
Yeah, you'd see around. You'd see the same similar thing. Make a stealth check for me, Raytheon.
Oh, you fucking son. Oh no!
Take a 2.
Oh man!
Is it 6?
Yeah.
6, yeah.
6? Not quite as nimbly as Service was. From everyone from a distance, here's a loud and what sounds like a wet fart now. That and a splash that is thrown about. As everyone looks over for a second, Turbis, as you're sort of maneuvering around gently and gauging the area around you.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
You hear a noise that makes you jump for a second. And you look up and you hear, don't move, another muscle. You look up and you see a humanoid dressed in a black cloths and leathers with a large crossbow bolt pointed at you. And a very large crossbow that he's holding up with 2 hands. Not another move.
Whoa. We just got to take a quick pee and we'll be on our way.
Another fucking move.
You don't want any trouble. Is it one guy? One person?
From what you see in front of you right now is one person.
All right.
He kind of looks over to you.
What do you want?
What I want? Well, for starters, whatever shit you got on you. And second, whatever you got in that cart over there.
Let's see, that's not our cart.
Wait. Turbidus, hold up, Turbidus. I can get you what's in that cart. I want to keep my stuff. Not opposed to you taking their stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He points the crossbow over to you. Quiet, you. Now, both of you are going to be nice and quiet and play along with this situation. And both of you are going to start making your way back to that cart over there, or we're going to shoot the shit out of you. Do you understand?
Yeah, but I love shooting the shit. Let's do this.
Not a problem. Why don't we help you steal the cart? We can help. We can.
He looks at you. He goes,
"We can help you steal this cart. We are prisoners here. That's what you don't understand."
Did any of us hear any of this, or is it just those 2 and the human?
They're a little further off into the woods.
Because I'm back on the freaking mat, so I'm still like half knocked out.
What's your name?
There it is.
That was epic.
Well, he's been in the cart the whole time. He finally woke up.
Driving the cart. The guard looks at you. The guy, not the guard. The guy looks at you and he goes, What did you just say? You're gonna what?
Listen, here's the
What's-
deal.
What's your name? What's your name, buddy?
Whoa,
Let's start there.
What are you fucking talking about? No way I'm listening to you. I'm not into this reverse mental tricks. I'm not into any of this wizardry or witchery. I'm not falling for it. I'm not that stupid.
I wanna impress him. So I look him like dead in the eye, and while I'm looking him in the eye, I'm gonna do my druid craft cantrip, and just very subtly raise my hand and grow a flower out of the ground. And I'm gonna look him dead in the eye. And I'm gonna say, "Are you sure you don't want to team up?"
Yeah. Make a performance check.
I'm so good at this. 6.
Your flower immediately dies.
It withers.
It's a weed.
As soon as the rain just and the flower just withers away, and he kind of looks back up at you. I'm not falling for any of that nonsense now. Here's the deal. You there are gonna, and he points to you, Terminus, you're gonna drop your bow and you're gonna come with me quietly and lead me to your cart.
Not a problem.
And you there, he points to you, Raytheon, you're gonna stay quiet and you're also gonna lead me to your cart. You're not gonna give me any shit for it. Otherwise, I'll make sure my other boys lurking around here light yous all up. Do you understand now?
I want to kind of call his bluff, and like I look around and I like really look into with my dark vision around into the forest to see if the other boys are around.
Make an insight check on him.
Nice. 19 plus 3, 22.
22.
Hey.
Based on the way his like composure is and how he's really eyeing you down with that, he looks like he's not bluffing. He looks like he's giving you a really serious look about it.
Cool.
Probably get the assumption by that he's definitely not BSing about how there's more guys around here now.
Gotcha. Noted.
He's like, all right, come on.
I give Turbidus like that look that's like, yeah, he's not bullshitting. Let's do this.
All right. All
Come
right.
on, get walking.
Okay.
Are they near him? That's the thing.
Are they like everyone's the three of them are sort of relatively close together.
Right.
You're driving, so you are
You
driving.
need to get caught up.
You're driving one of the two carts in the circumstance, and they're so you're driving a cart of these hooligans who are, I believe, was Turbidus and Ruin the Destroyer, who are chained down to this cart. Basically, they were chained down because they had basically destroyed Iron Gate in their drunken stupor with some other crazed denizens of the night.
Apparently, everyone but you did. By the way,
Everyone but you did, yeah. You were one of the. You were the one that brought them to justice, and you brought them. You got locked up, and you were rewarded for that. So you're in on one of the carts now.
Okay.
You're in the middle of the forest, heading west. You're heading towards a small farming village called Killingam to deliver wheat and barley for the Duke.
Abandoned the forest.
We don't know his name yet.
Yeah,
We don't know.
could be.
You're here, but you don't know that the guy is
You're
here.
with the rest of the group, but currently it's
You're on the
only Raytheon and Turbidus that know of the guy.
What race is he?
Human.
Okay.
We got that.
He's a
part.
paladin.
He looks to you guys. Go on, get moving. I ain't got all the time in the world. I've been sitting around freezing my ass off to finally find someone on the road, and you're it. Congratulations. Get fucking moving. And he starts shoving the crossbow towards you.
Okay, when I do a spell, is it obvious that I'm doing the spell?
Yes. There is what spell is it?
None at this point, but I was thinking about the one that causes tremors or a sound from a point of my choice.
Well, thaumaturgy is just a vocal thing, so you say something and it causes a reaction.
It's all vocal, okay.
Yeah.
Rob,
Okay.
did you unmute yourself in the?
I think so. Am I
There
good
you
now?
go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're good now.
I was just getting like double the sound from everybody.
Yeah,
so
just
that's why-
mute everybody in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, I gotta mute you.
in the Discord.
Yeah, mute everybody in the Discord.
There we go. Can I? Okay, so drop my bow. I'm flying, and
Sorry.
I want to just like use my tail to silently kind of grab the bow as we're walking past it.
And this.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
I don't want to pick it up. I just want to slowly drag it right above the ground.
Yeah, make a stealth check for me.
There we go.
14.
14. Yeah, I'd say you could start picking that up and dragging that. He doesn't notice.
Okay.
Did he drop the bow? Can I pick up his bow?
I dropped the bow,
Yeah,
but the arrows would still be on my back, I would think.
So he starts marching you guys along,
Right.
and you kind of like nimbly pick the bow up and swing it around so we can't see it with your tail. And as you guys are marching along, all right. As you turn the corner, you see Sorori. To all of you in the cart, you see Sorori's a little agitated now. Where the fuck did they go? Did they run off? See him pull his long sword out. Looks up to you. Torum, draw your blade. I think we've got them on the run.
I run out of the woods and I yell, "Just taking a piss. He'll be right back." Me too.
The guy you're with, shut up. Are you trying to blow our fucking cover? I'll blow your brains off.
And I look back and I say, "Shut up. I'm helping you out."
I'm not falling for any of this deceit, I'll have you know. I'm not falling for any of it. I know what you're up to.
Is this your first deep woods thieving? I don't understand what you're doing here. Let me help you out.
No,
You're acting like this is your first rodeo. Let me be honest.
no, not
You need me to cause a distraction. I'll get Roy Boy and the crew to not be paying attention. You get the mead or whatever's in the carts. Forget I said that part. And we'll just keep going.
Persuasion check.
What'd you say? Persuasion?
Persuasion, yep.
Yes. All right. Dirty 20.
He looks at you. Are you serious? You're just gonna give me your cart and make a distraction for us to take all your shit?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Well, what's the catch? You can't just be giving it away.
The catch is I'm a damn prisoner. Roy Boy's not our friend. That's not my cart.
I'm going to agree with him there. We
you
are prisoners in this situation.
Are you saying my
To me, interpreters look like we be boys. I don't think so. We're victims of circumstance here.
Are you saying no? You're telling me my first hit, I got a fucking prison carriage, not some
Yes.
noble? You kidding me? It's
You got a prison
bollocks.
carriage, but wait, you also got a prison carriage, and the guards let us roam around. It's an easy hit. It's an easy mark.
This is bollocks. There's no money involved in this. This is shite. Now everyone, you guys on the cart now here. This is bollocks. Forest. I can't believe I hit a fucking prison cart. Are you kidding me? All the time wasted. I'm sitting in the freezing rain out here with my boys. They dragged my ass out here. I hit a prison caravan. Are you shitting me? God!
I peek over the edge of the cart, but then I just lay back down and don't care anymore.
I'm basically looking like, what's going on, man? I'm trying to grab my quarterstaff. I'm like, you know what? Nah, this ain't worth it.
I'm gonna scratch my butt because it's itchy because I've been sitting here all this time.
I can't fucking believe this. A prison caravan. I was promised riches from this.
While he's talking to himself,
Yeah.
can I make a noise happen behind him?
All right, what noise do you want to make?
Like someone sneezing.
Like a wet fart.
Okay, so you turn around and you from the back.
Like someone sneezing. Yeah.
Hey, he turns around.
He turns around. I draw my bow.
Okay.
Let's go. I take my shot. I don't even wait.
Okay. Just
I don't wait. I'm aiming for the heart.
Nice.
All right.
This guy's a bandit. He's got nothing for us.
Make an attack roll with advantage. He's surprised
Attack roll.
with your bow.
Okay.
I don't know. He said he had his boys. This might be a bad decision.
It might be, but this guy's fucking going.
I'm liking what I'm seeing, man.
We
Help
might
me
be
out. Where do I-
swarmed, but I don't care. This guy needs to go down.
Do I have to go, I go to actions? Okay,
Go to
hold on.
actions, attack, and then go to your bow.
Longbow, and I click on +5. That one.
Yep.
Okay.
So roll it twice. Take the higher number.
Roll twice. All right. First one's 22.
Okay.
Second one's 19.
So either one of those would hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Oh boy, how do I do that? Oh, next to it.
Yep.
Okay. It says piercing, and it says 9.
9 points of damage. He's lost it because he was surprised, and you kind of hit him on the back of the head. It's a critical hit.
Oh man.
the guy, the bandit on his first trip.
So he goes, "You've caught me," and you. What was that, Trevor? Was that you? And you.
Oh, he's alive?
No. You have
Recap.
This is him reacting to the sneeze, and you're like, "Oh, pick up the bow, right to the back of the head."
And I'm booking for the cart now.
And he just slumps over on the ground and just hits the ground. And you're like, "Shit!" And just start running back to the cart.
Yeah, I'm booking for the cart.
Start running back right down. You see him booking into the cart.
I'm telling him to come with
right,
us.
I'm right damn behind you.
Yeah, I'm saying, let's go. Because
So Rory's like, "What the hell are you doing out there? What was going on?"
there are bandits out there. We got one, but we think there may be more.
Are you?
They're trying to rob your cart, by the way. You're welcome. He's dead.
Roy, we're doing your job for you. What are you doing?
He kinda looks around.
Rory, can you unlock the 2 paladins that are actually?
Yeah, we're gonna
fighting?
need to unlock these people.
Rory, get them out. I need you. We got this.
He goes, "God damn it, this fucking Duke!" And he, Thorum is Thorum or Thorum?
Thorum.
Thorum, you're not locked down because you're not guilty, so you're free. You're free to run around and do whatever. He just kind of looks around, just God.
Thorm,
And he
watch
hops-
those woods. Right over there. There may be more.
And he unchains both of you guys. Everyone roll initiative for me, please.
Initiative.
What die do I have to use for that? I'm sorry, I'm the noob that doesn't know.
D20. I think you're the only person besides me who's rolling physical dice. So D20.
Oh, is it everybody or just the unchained people?
Everyone add 2 to it, Rob.
What are we rolling? Initiative?
Initiative, yep.
I got 19. Rune got 19.
Dude,
Keep the number.
I got 6.
13.
where's initiative?
16. 16.
It's next to the armor class shield.
Next to the armor
Next to the shield.
Hold on
Oh shit. Sorry. Okay.
in just a moment.
The first thing you roll.
Yeah, 19.
14.
16.
All right, 1 second. Okay. Oh,
Oh, the music changed. Uh-oh.
25 and 20. No one? Okay.
25 or 20? No.
25. I'm doing initiative order and like batches to figure out who did
Got
what. Okay.
I got a 19. Rune and Thorbidus. Why can't I say your name?
Turbidus. It's Latin for
Turbidus.
confused.
He said Thorbidus.
and then Turbidus just got 19s.
You should.
All right. So we got. Let me see. We have
Was
Rune and Turbidus. I got 19.
Yep.
The heroes of our story so far.
Let's see. Turbidus. I think Turbidus is a higher dex there. 3, and then yes, Turbidus is going to go first because he has the higher dexterity.
Okay. Who's coming at me?
And then we've got Rune, 20 to 15, besides Rune and Turbidus.
20 to 15. Not me. I missed that cut.
15 to 10.
I had 16. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
16, okay.
I would just like to say, when I come back out of the woods, I am using the cart as cover, and I've got the bow drawn.
Strapped up.
Yep.
Let's roll for sorority. Oh, shit.
Do I have my crossbow back yet? No, right?
Not yet, no.
Mhm.
You have to run to you have to grab it from the cart.
Did you chase after me unarmed?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm out there in the woods.
Yeah.
This is my territory.
Hey, pop it a buddy.
15 to 10.
I got a 14.
14. Okay.
Are children laughing? Is that part of the music?
Yeah,
or is that
no, it's
oh,
my
my-
child.
Okay.
10 to 5.
Oh
I got
no.
6.
Oh no.
Sixes
I
are
got
all over the
13,
place.
So if you
Yeah,
want
I know.
that, you got that
Six.
right, Zach.
What's up?
I rolled 13. Well, I rolled 11 plus 2 is 13. So
You rolled a 13. Okay.
that's what I got.
All right.
I just killed someone's father, didn't I?
And who rolled what was 10 to 6? Was it Connor?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Connor.
Just laughing from the shock of heartbreak and
then-
murdering her father.
Below 5.
Joe got a 4, didn't you, Joe?
I got 14.
Or 14.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you
I
got
think I
a
was the lowest. I think I was the
19,
lowest.
19, 6,
Cool. So I got it.
14,
Okay.
13. What did you get, Chuck?
2, 3, 4, 5,
19.
6. Yeah, I
19.
got everyone. So
Alright.
the bandits are going to go first, and Rory's going to go last. So we'll see how that goes. So first,
Beautiful.
bandits are up.
How many bandits are we looking at right now?
Gauging from the forest now, you see. Make a perception check.
$24.
24. Jesus. Eagle eye over here. You could very easily detect them now as they've come out from hiding for the most part. You catch about 8 different bandits.
8 bandits. I yell, eight bandits, boys. Let's do this.
So there's 4 and 4 on each.
As I'm yelling that, I'm running back to the cart, grabbing my short
That's,
bow. By
that's
the
an
way.
awesome.
You got 4 and 4 on each side, and then you guys are basically in the middle of this, like a crossfire.
How like what kind of like space are we thinking? Like, are we like 50 feet round, 20 feet round? How many? Like, how close are we?
You probably got like a good 60 feet of separation from the sides of the forest where they're lurking.
Cool.
It's enough for bow range. For those who are in the cart, you have 3/4 cover in the situation, so you get +5 to your AC. So whatever I roll and say to hit you for, add 5 to your armor class. So the first wave of arrows is going to hit the cart to the left, which is Connor, Flamboyant, and not Raytheon, so Rory. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Connor, I'm gonna roll a d6 to determine who gets hit by 2 arrows. Connor, you're 1 and 2. Flamboyant, you're 3 and 4, and Rory is 5 and 6. So 5 and 6. So Rory gets hit by 2, and then for the other 2 is Connor. So add 5 to your armor class to hit your armor class, Connor, when I go to attack. So for the 2 against Rory, who is wearing plate armor currently, that is a miss. And that is also a miss. So the 2, so you see from the forest, the left side of the forest, Rory turns around, you see 2 light crossbow bolts fly out from the forest and just hit off this plate armor. He turns to the side, this blade drawn. Connor, that is a natural 1 and a natural 20.
Man.
So one of them to the side, you see he goes, you hear fire, and you hear, and you hear shit from the forest. The other one, because it's a natural 20, is an auto crit or auto hit. So you are gonna take. Okay. So you take 6 points of piercing damage as a crossbow bolt flies out and hits you in the shoulder from the side and sticks right through you. And unsuspectingly, as you turn around, you're like, "What the?" From the other side now, of the right side of the forest, we have.
Let me know when I can ask if these are all human.
They're all human, yeah. Turbidus, Thorum, and Rune. You guys can roll a d6 as well to determine who gets hit. And Raytheon. So roll a d8 for this. So Raytheon is 1 and 2, Rune is 3 and 4, Thorum is 5 and 6, Turbidus is 7 8.
Question.
Yes.
So one of my racial traits is Infernal Legacy. Can I do this stuff, or do I have to level up to do this stuff?
Let me check.
And here's what I'm wondering. It says I can cast darkness.
At level 5, you can cast darkness.
Fair enough. All right.
And third
That's
level,
okay, so I can't really do any of that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So Rune is the only one in the cart right now who would have full cover. So Rune, you get +5 to your AC. Turbidus, 2 are going to hit you, and Thorum, 2 are going to go after you.
What about me?
You're untouched from the arrow
Sweet.
flurry. So Turbidus, 1 is a miss, the other is the same roll. So both are a miss. So as you see, you turn to the side, you hear, "Charlie! No!" And you turn around and you go, "Shit, shit," as you're running away, and you hear 2 bolts and just hit the cart beside you as you're running around. You're like, "Shit, shit, shit." Thorum. That is a natural 18 to hit you, so 21 to hit. We'll say you have half cover because you're in the cart but not fully covered, which would still hit you with an AC of 18. Second is a natural 20.
Nice. So I'm dead.
It's a good thing my tiny ass laid down.
So you take from that 9 points of damage.
Do we need to be writing the damage down somewhere? Are we supposed to be doing that?
Keep track of that. There's hit points you have in the top right corner.
Okay.
Just track them on there.
All right, got it.
Yeah. So
Damn,
for
9?
example,
Jesus.
Thorum, as 2 of the bolts come and hit you, strike you through your plate. You're like, "Oh!"
How many points did I get?
9.
9 points.
So he has 2 points left.
Yes.
Jesus.
Can I wait? So I'm Rune, and I'm in the cart. I'm completely away from everything. Can I drag him back into the cart and try to heal him a little bit with my special hands?
On your turn, you can.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So it is the end of the bandit's turn. Turbidus, it's your turn now.
Oh, I get to do something. Oh,
Yep,
jeez.
your turn.
Okay,
You
so
gotta-
there's
you gotta-
8 bandits,
There's 8 bandits, 4 on each side.
and I am protected from half of them.
Yes.
All right. Boy. God, I have to go first in this? Okay.
So you get a movement, you get an action, and a bonus action.
I can
So
do
your
all
action,
that.
I'm assuming, would be like shooting your bow. Movement, you can try and move and take some cover.
I tried to already take cover. I want to be, obviously take the best cover I can. If I can get into, is there an empty cart still?
The carts are still like there's people your crew is still in the
We're
cart.
in there, so I want to get in the cart as well.
Okay, so you just leap up onto the cart.
Yeah, if it's the one with Thorum, then my
it would
action.
be that one.
It is. It's the other
Yeah.
one. Okay, it's the other one.
You were in the cart with Rory. So that's the left side. You're on the right side right now. So it's the
Okay.
cart with Thorum is the one.
And I'm going to let the healers heal him, and I
Okay.
am going to. There's nothing really I can do other than take some shots, I think. So I'm just going to aim at the closest one and let fly.
Go for it. Make an attack roll.
All right, attack roll actions. Longbow. Oh God, that's a 6.
6. So you see these bandits that are like bobbing and weaving from cover and hopping in and out of cover from behind these trees, and you're trying to line the shot up, and you let the arrow fly, and it hits into one of the trees and just narrowly misses one of the bandits. He looks back and he goes, "Fuck you!" as the crossbow is pointed up at you.
All right.
That's your turn. However, you do have 3/4 cover now.
All right.
Rune, you're up. What would you like to do?
All right, I want to grab Thorum. And
Okay,
pull
so
him.
you just pull him and just drag him into the back of the cart now
Yeah.
as he's bleeding out through his armor.
And then I want to do my healing hands thing.
Healing hands. Okay, let me just double check.
Lay on hands pool. You have a pool of healing power that can restore 5 HP.
5. Okay, so as your radiant hands touch Thorum, you regain 5 hit points, Thorum, and you now have 3/4 cover. And that is the end of your turn.
And then
Raytheon.
wait. Beforehand, I get real close to his ear and I just whisper it to go. I go, "You're welcome." And that's it. Real creepy. Real creepy, right into his ear. Just want to make him know that he knows that I'm the paladin. I'm the paladin that saved his life.
Get a drink. I can still hear you.
I'll be sure to return the favor in due time.
Raytheon, you're up.
All right. Which cart am I in? Who am I with?
You're on the left cart.
I'm in the left cart.
No, sorry,
Alright.
you'd be on the right side right now.
All right, cool. I look out to the nearest set of bandits, whichever direction that is in, and I cast Entangle on that group of bandits. It's got 90-foot range and it covers a 20-foot square.
Okay.
So those guys would be restrained as a result of that.
Okay, strength 13. Restrained by intelligent glance. That is a failure with a 12.
Damn.
So they fail the saving throw. So you get, say, a 20-foot square. I'd say you could probably get 3 of them.
Oh, they failed their throw.
Yeah, they failed. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I look back at the boys and I say, those dudes trying to get their attention to finish them.
So you hear the vines as these weeds and vines kind of sprout out from the ground in a long line that lashes out, and you see it in one sort of large sort of eruption. The sort of muddy and wet vines and thorns lash out from the ground and just grab around the legs and arms of these bandits. They turn and they go, what the fuck? And as they're all sort of held up, that is the end of your turn.
I also yell, you boys should have listened to me. We could have stole the cart.
Flamboyant, you're up.
Can I nonchalantly break the shackles off of me?
You're undone, man.
Oh, he's undone. All right, so I need to grab my great axe.
I hope the hobgoblin throws you at them.
Look underneath. I'll say this is your bonus action. Look underneath. Find your
Almost dead,
pull it
man.
out.
All right.
Ready to go.
And then let's see. Are any of them close, or are they all ranged guys?
Either side you can get to. They're all ranged.
Okay.
But you could get up to them. You could get up to one of them with your movement.
All right, then. Is there anyone that I can? So can I dash towards the closest man to get myself between a member of my party and their attacker?
Okay, so I'd say you could do that. You could get between Raytheon and one of the bandits that he restrained.
All right, so I jump between them and then attack his attacker.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
Why do you have advantage? Is that just one of your traits?
Because he's restrained.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
First one was a 17, and the second one was a 23.
Yeah, either of those, both of those would hit. So go ahead and make an attack. Roll for damage.
8.
8. Okay, so with that, what weapon are you using?
Great axe.
Great axe. So you take your great axe. See one of the guys who's bind it up and dropped his crossbow. He goes, shit, and the footsteps as you're running through the mud, and you pull your great axe, throw it to the ground, and as you swing it up, carrying some of the mud in one cleave, you split his head in half. As it almost nearly flaps over, and he just falls loose in the vines, killing him. And that is the end of your turn.
Right, I'll be right back.
I laugh.
Orem, now healed up to 7 hit points. Held in the cart by Rune. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna get fucking revenge. That's what I'm gonna do.
You see that flamboyant just ran up to the group of the ones that are restrained and just cleaved one of them.
So I'm probably gonna join him.
Okay, so you draw your great sword and charge towards them.
I actually want to use my warhammer.
Your warhammer, even better.
Yeah.
So you unsheathe the warhammer and run and charge towards them full speed. Go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
And that's a D20.
D20. Yep. Roll it twice. Take the higher number.
So I got 11.
11. Did you add the modifier to it?
No.
Let's see.
Okay.
So your modifier would be for your warhammer would be +4, so it'd be a 15, which definitely hits. So go ahead and roll 1d10 plus 2.
Let's see. That's a 10. So 12.
12 points of damage. So you charge up to this guy, furious. Your eyes begin to gently glow this slight yellow as tinge as you run towards them with your radiant fury, and as your warhammer, you swing down on the guy and just bash his head and crush his chest in the vines. A disgusting crunch as his bones cave in and the flesh bends to it, and he just falls in the vine.
In front of my cart, you hear.
Connor, you are up.
How many guys we have left?
Right now, you have 6 left. 1 is currently restrained by the vines.
Okay. And I have 4 HP left as well. Can I heal, or do I have to go to who else? Who's currently at the healing factor?
Let's see. Thorman has healing.
I have healing.
He can heal you for 5 hit points.
I could also heal you if you need it.
Yeah, Raytheon can too.
Raytheon can, yeah. He's on the side where everyone's just obliterating.
Can I roll to heal him if it's not my turn?
No, it'd have to be on your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Connor, why don't you come position yourself near me so I can hear you on my turn?
I think I will, man. Yeah, let me do that then. So
Do a barrel roll.
So you run up to the Raytheon's position, and as you're sort of booking it towards the tree line, I'll say as you're trying to bob and weave and take cover to stay out of their sight, make a stealth check for me real quick.
Stealth check, and it is 19,
22.
Yeah, buddy.
So as you're running through and bobbing in the shadows, Raytheon, you see him bolting through it almost at very quick speeds. You sort of lose him for a moment, and then you see him sort of perched up against the side of a tree, bleeding out, but relatively hidden well. And as you're running up, Connor, you see the bandits are looking at you. They're like, "There he is! He's right over there!" And as you're sprinting towards the trees, you hear him, "Where the fuck did he just go? I just saw him a minute ago. Where did he go?" You are, as far as they're concerned, hidden.
Nice. Good job.
End of your turn. It is now Sir Rory's turn. And as he draws the longsword out, he goes, "You've got to be fucking kidding me. Bandits on a prison guard." Turns around, goes to the left side, and goes, "You there! Drop your fucking crossbows or I'll cleave your balls off." And one of them goes, "Fuck you and your prisoners." And he goes, "It's your funeral." And he charges up, and you hear Rory with a war cry as he runs out and takes a slash at one of the bandits right there and pierces through his leather armor and lobs his arm off, and the crossbow falls. He goes, "Oh, shit!" And he just, the second slash around Rory, takes another attack with a natural 19, which is critical for Rory. And in one swift blow, just you see like the wind pass by for a moment, and the head of this bandit just falls off the body. And he just throws the blood off his blade and turns to the rest of the men. "You want more now?" So there's 5 bandits left, one who is restrained, and they all kind of look around on Rory's side. They go, shit, they killed our boys. One of them goes, "We still have a chance. Just fucking fire at them." And one of them, the 3 of them on the other side, turn to Rory and go, "Fine." Crossbows are pointed at him.
Fine.
Hit. Miss. Only one of them hits Rory. On a you see it fires and like clips his hand, and he just looks up at him. "You've got to be kidding me." And you see him, the bandit goes, "Shit!" and just drops his crossbow. The other bandit is restrained, is going to attempt to break free from the entanglement, and does not. And he sees as everyone is like approaching, and Thorum with his sort of radiant eyes and his hammer, who just absolutely crushed one of his companions, and Flamboyant, who just cleaved one of their heads in half. He's just sitting there practically wetting himself.
What?
That's the end of their turn. Turbidus, you're up.
All right, so 4 left? Or 5?
5 left. 3 on the left.
One is still entangled. Okay.
Where's my self-confidence roll?
2 on the right. 2 on the right. 3 on the left.
My spells don't really do anything. I'm just going to take another shot on the right.
Okay, go for it. We'll say with advantage because this is the restrained one.
Perfect.
Should attack the unrestrained guy first.
Now I've got. Oh, never mind. I've got my. You said there's a bonus action. You can move. You can take an action, and you can do a bonus action.
You can move, bonus action.
Examples of what's a bonus action?
It would specify under your actions tab. So for you, I don't believe.
Oh, here it is. 2 weapon fighting. It says
2 weapon fighting if you have 2 light melee weapons in your hand. So like 2 daggers or 2 short swords.
So I have a dagger, but it's not on me yet.
True, you're away from the cart.
The dagger.
I'm in the cart.
You're in the cart.
You don't have the dagger on you, and because you're using longbow too, it requires both hands to use it. So.
Okay, gotcha. Then, yeah, man, I just take my shot. Let's see what happens here.
Okay.
Motherfucker. 10.
10, that's a hit.
All right.
Yeah, buddy, what's good?
Did you roll the advantage for that?
No. Is that another one?
Again, and
Take the higher.
get a higher number, yeah.
16.
16, okay. Not a critical, but it's still a hit. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll damage for that.
Oh, yeah. Damage is 11.
11 points of damage. So with that, take the shot at the restrained the gentleman who is sitting there. It's like, no. As
I just kind of nod. You're on the wrong side of the law, son.
And as Flamboyant and Thorum are like slowly approaching the cart with their weapons drawn, he goes, "No, please, I'm terribly sorry. This is a mistake." And an arrow just pierces him right through the neck. Is like he just.
Love it, man. Neck shot, head shot, 1 miss. That's all right.
Oh man!
Wow.
And that is the end of your turn.
I'm just like wide-eyed staring at this dude, like how?
Rune, you're up.
All right, so how many are left now? There's
There is 1 on the right side, 3 on the left side. That is what's
okay. So I'm gonna go after the. I'm gonna go try to whittle down the guys on the 3 guys on the right. So I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna take my I believe I have a battle axe. I'm gonna take my. Well, I'm dual wielding. Wait, I got my battle axe and my long sword in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go literally charging at the biggest one out of the bunch and try to slay them down, whoever that
Okay.
happens to be.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so what do I roll for? I roll
You're gonna make an attack roll.
an attack roll with both because I'm dual wielding. Which one do I do?
You are dual wielding. Which weapons? What are you dual wielding?
The battle axe and the long sword. So I just click both. Do I click both of them?
Let me check real quick. Hold on.
While this is happening, I look at Connor and I go, "Man, I hope they don't slap him."
Let's see. Variant human. Did you took the psionic one? Okay. So since you are wielding a battle axe and a longsword, they're not light weapons, so you can only use one.
Okay, so then I'll use the battle axe and then I roll.
All right. So you use a two-handed. So yep, roll to attack.
Yeah, so I got a 17.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Roll a d10 for this because you're using a two-handed.
Okay. So I don't click the damage button that's here.
No, because you're rolling a different dice. So roll a
Okay.
d10,
A D10.
which looks like
Roll. Just once, right?
yep, just once. Add 3 to that.
I got a 10.
A 10. Okay, so you run up to this guy and just cleave him right across his body. A big splatter of blood spews out, and you just see him just fall over as close to you just fear. And that is the end of your turn. Raytheon.
No. Nice.
All right, sweet. I am immediately gonna run over to my boy Connor, who's
Okay.
still up against the tree. I'm just gonna look him right in the eye and gently touch him on the chest. I'm gonna cure wounds.
All
Which
right.
is 1d8 plus 3.
Yep.
So I
go ahead.
rolled a 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 points of healing.
Connor, you heal 8 points of damage. It's a gentle touch from Raytheon. As his hand guides over your chest, you see there's like this sort of like moss and like vines covers and seals your wound, and as it heals over, all the natural elements of it collapses, and your wound is sealed up.
There it is. Much obliged, my man.
Even though he got me caught in the
I
woods,
got
I'm
you.
starting to respect this. Starting to respect this paladin.
That is in your turn, Raytheon. Flamboyant, turn.
All right, during the battle, I had a horrible flashback to my family torturing me, so I got distracted. I kind of lost where the locations of everyone was, but I'm
You
starting
just
to
want to
regain
attack.
myself. Yeah, no, starting to regain myself, my footing. I hate being outdone by any of these so-called men, so I find the closest member of my party again and jump between him and his attacker and grab my axe and attack.
So
You're jumping between people not to protect us, but to stop us from killing.
Both to protect and to kill.
there's one person left on the right side.
Okay.
Which
Or
Thorin,
finish off one side if you're smart.
you kind of just spin around him and jump in between and go take a hack at the other bandit. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Just one, or is this advantage?
Just one. Yep.
14.
14. That's enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
9.
9 points of damage with another foul swoop, carving right through the chest, cutting the legs, and then back down as a vertical slash. You have carved this fool up like a cake as he just trembles back at every cut and then just collapses down into the mud with a loud thud and a splash.
Who wants to slice?
On the right side has been finished off. Thorin, it is now your turn. The other side, there are two members. There are two enemies left on the other side, and it would take 60 feet of movement to get across, which would be your movement and your action if you wanted to dash across.
Okay.
How many hit points does
where
Rory
am
have,
I-
by the way?
Rory looks fine right now.
Okay, cool.
How's Connor doing hit points?
Perfect. 10-10, man. I
Okay.
am healthy.
So then
as
I'm
a
gonna
pop.
do that. I'm gonna fucking do a war cry and literally run at with my war hammer in the air
Can you please do the
towards
war
the
cry?
other two guys, and then I guess my action will be attack.
Yep.
So you're so
Now he's saying you don't get an action because it's two. It's
Yeah,
Oh,
two
you don't
runs.
get an action.
yeah,
It's
so it'd be
two
30
runs.
feet to move back to the middle, then another 30 feet, which would be your action to dash to get over to the other side to meet up with everyone.
Can I do half the distance and then toss a javelin?
That could work. Yeah, go for that.
All right, so I'm gonna do that because I have javelins.
You do.
So I'm still gonna scream and run half the way, and then I'll be like, "Fuck this!" and I'm gonna pull out my javelin and throw it.
Justice does not demand exercise.
I exercise my right not to exercise. Listen, plate armor is heavy.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Roll a d20.
Javelin, and then is it +4 or is it just the d20?
D20 plus 4. Yep.
Okay. Should I just click on this? I wonder if that would be easier than.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So I got 18.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage for that, which is 1d6 plus 2.
It's him in the foot.
I kind of like rolling the die.
The dice is fun.
I got 8.
8 points of damage. So you lob the javelin. You see it hit one of the bandits in the gut, and he peels over. He doesn't fall. He's barely holding on. It spews to the other side of him, and he peels over on the ground with half the team lurking in front of him as he just trembles in fear to everyone. That is the end of your turn. Your turn, Thorum. Connor, you are up.
Oh man, finally get my revenge, man. Who we got left? We have
One guy left, right?
There's two guys.
One bandit and one hit point.
Yeah, pretty much.
One bandit, one hit point. Who's closest to me, actually?
Both of them are around the same distance for you.
And that's okay. All right.
It'd be funnier to kill the guy that's fine and leave the other guy that's wounded to die.
You know what I'll be able to, since I have darts, man. How many darts can I throw at the same time?
So it would be, I believe it would be one dart,
one throw.
because I think you can take two weapon fighting. You can actually take 2 punches in the same turn because you're a monk.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Fist of Fury. Here it
Oh, you
comes.
know what? Let's do
Palm
that.
to the nose, man. Palm to the nose.
Let's do that, man.
Big
Go ahead and make 2 attacks.
goblin.
So so with two punches, can I punch one? Like since he got one hit point left, I guess, and the other one. Yeah. Oh, let's do that then, man. Let's do that.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
So unarmed strike. So let's see. Here we go.
2 different attack rolls.
First
As a
one
DM
is
from Session
11?
0 once said, monk
Hits.
shit.
Monk shit.
So I got 11 the first one.
Hits,
Second one is 13.
That
I'm sorry,
hits.
18. Sorry, 18.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage for both of those.
Damage. All right.
I'm so excited
6.
right now, guys.
6. Okay, that's the first, and then the second is
Second is 5.
5. Okay, so given this is your vengeance, how do you want to obliterate the guy who's on his knees with the javelin hanging through him right now?
Oh man, what I want to do, man, so badly, is that move from Kill Bill, man. Remember when what you call it? No,
Takes 3 steps and dies. Or
3 steps and dies. Yeah, man. Just
Oh man, that's totally what a monk would do.
straight little 8 point, heart attack, man. All this. So listen,
So just you give him a nice quick hit, and he starts to crawl away, and just one, and just falls. The second one, you turn back around, and this one you won't get a killing blow on, but he's practically pissing himself at this point. And as you go to take a blow on him, how do you want to just knock him down?
I want to knock him down. I listen. I just want to straight up gut shot him. Like seriously, just.
So you turn around real quick, and as he's looking at you, he goes, shit, and you dash up to him real quick. And as the fist goes back, and you lunge forward with your left hand, and the right hand's getting ready to go behind. The left hand comes up, and it hits him with like a 1-inch punch. As he's looking at the right hand, he's not even suspecting the right into the gut right there.
Yes.
So he jumps back and peels over on his knees, and he goes, "No, oh please, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, please." As that is the end of your turn, it is now Rory's turn as he walks forward with his longsword out.
Finish the move, man.
Looks to you, Connor. Very well. The blade has been drawn, and he takes the longsword out. And oh yeah. So just decapitation. As the head
Decapitation.
hits the ground.
Nice brutal legend mess.
Yo, wow, look at the shirt.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
That's such a great movie. Decapitation.
And as the head slides off and hits the mud, the bandits are left nigh obliterated in the middle of this rainy woods as you all slowly lick your wounds and gather yourselves together after that. Rory sheaths his blade, looks around at all of you, and with just a brief sigh of relief in the moment, turns around and walks towards the cart again. God.
And cuffs the dwarf again.
Looks back around. What a shit show that was.
Oh,
So I
that
still have
could-
my short. I still have my short bow, and while he's walking away from us, I just draw my short bow and aim straight for his head.
So Rory's head?
Yeah, he was
Oh.
he was yeah.
He was a bit of a dick.
He's like, yeah.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Are you shooting? Or you're aiming?
All right, I'm shooting this motherfucker in the head.
Oh, Jesus.
Can I roll to block it with to block it with my sword? Because I'm all like
Wait,
good, so-
time out. I got a nat 20.
Nat 20?
plus
Okay.
4.
Roll your damage.
All this because an elf stepped on a fucking stick.
Damage was 3.
3 points of damage. You roll the dice twice. So 3 and then roll another.
Oh, sorry, yeah. 6. Plus 2
Six,
is
so
8.
9.
So 3 plus 8.
So 11 points of damage. Okay, so you draw the bow. Hits him right in the upper shoulder, and it goes through his plate. And you see he stops moving for a moment. And he slowly turns back around. And he looks at you with your bow like this, and you're like, fuck. He's just staring at you right now.
I look at the group and I go, I can't believe that Rory died in that bandit melee, guys. To like egg everybody.
He kind of looks back at you. Are you sure that's something you really want to do right now? As you see, he just pulls the arrow out of his shoulder and drops it.
Somebody just crush his fucking skull for us.
No. I'm reading about my blood curse. I'm understanding this word.
Somebody, let me. Forget it. That's not gonna work. I was trying to think of something else. It's not gonna work though.
I am going
No.
to let
Damn
that
it.
go. I'm going to let that slide for your sake, because I'm more concerned about getting this shit delivered for this shithead Duke than killing you right now.
And I look at him, I dead to his eyes, I go, I'll try again, eventually.
And I'll be waiting for it. Eventually.
We should probably lock him back up, Rory.
And everyone back in the carts. We need to
I
keep
have
moving.
no one to fight Rory with me. Damn, guys.
I can't.
I'm a paladin. I'm not allowed to
You
do
got 2 paladins. We can't just kill random people.
I'm a lawful good man. God damn it.
Yeah. It would have had to have been the hobgoblin or the dwarf.
I'm indifferent towards the fuck.
I am all right. Helping helping you get back into the cart, and I'm just kind of whispering to you, look, I'm all for justice, but this is just the guard. He didn't give us a sentence.
Turns to you. Rory turns to you, Thorum. Yeah. If he acts up again, chain him up.
It's a pretty forgiving guard, nothing mentioned.
Understood.
I
We carry on into the night. The mountain pass is just up ahead, men. It's gonna get bitter fucking cold up ahead.
And woman.
And woman. We all. I hope you don't freeze your asses off up here.
all right. So since we just had this near death experience and we're all kind of fun and Rory's a little relaxed, can I talk to him to try to get a feel for him to know if he knows a little more than he's letting on, if he knows that this is more than just a mead run.
All right. What do you say?
So I go over, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I ask him, first I ask him, you want me to heal that for you? And then second is, or actually I tell him, I'd be willing to heal you a little bit if you let me know if there's anything else going on here.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. 17.
17?
Yeah.
Kind of looks over to you, looks behind his shoulder to you. No, it's fine. Just make sure you keep him in check. That's all. I don't want any surprise assassination attempts along this trip. I don't believe the Duke paid me enough for that.
You getting paid for this?
Of course I'm getting paid for this. I wouldn't have come out here otherwise. This is a shithole. If you're asking if I know more than this, no. I don't really think there's more than this.
Did we leave the bandits already? We left all their bodies, right? We're gone.
Their bodies are still left in the mud.
Oh, wait.
We forgot to search their bodies.
Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to search those guys.
I'm out. Yeah. Thank you.
We should
So
loot
you
their
want
bodies.
to loot them?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to loot them. I don't know if we walked away yet.
No, you guys haven't walked away. You're still
good.
huddled around the
Good.
carts.
Cool. I definitely want to loot these guys.
So sort of compiled together, you guys find about 8 crude-looking short bows. Or, light crossbows. 8 crude-looking light crossbows. You find... Let's see here.
Yeah, look that up.
There's gotta be some money, man.
This guy's worried about the
4,000
money.
gold. No, I'm just kidding.
There just happens to
I'll
be
find, like, a book.
50,000 gold on each individual person. All right, pay them off. We're done.
Good game, guys.
GG.
You find collectively in pouches of like copper and silver and some gold. You find about 40 gold pieces collectively on the bandits.
All right.
And on the first one that you instantly killed, Turbo's, you find a letter in his pouch.
Fantastic. I'll grab that.
Okay.
And I'll read it when we're on the cart.
Okay.
With a child's drawing of a daddy and a little girl.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be home soon.
I'll be home soon, sweetest. I'll get the medicine to Timmy.
This is the only way I could do it. It's the only way I could make money. I'm so sorry. I hate being here.
Justice.
I promise Daddy will be home soon. He loves you dearly. Take care of your mother and the 7 other children that I have.
It's a long ass letter. It's a scroll.
Just keeps opening it.
It's more bad news.
Oh man.
It's like I think I did him a favor killing him.
What else?
Can I pocket some of the gold in my
Are we splitting that? Oh, we splitting that.
in my top
So you're trying in your top.
in my dwarf boobs?
Let me see.
Because I'm as we were ordered to get into the cart, I'm still standing over the last guy that I cut up into cake pieces.
It's a cake pieces.
Fuck, Betty.
There is one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. Say everyone gets 7 gold pieces from that.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna add that
Add it
into
to
our
the
thing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's good because
How can I find out where I have money?
24 gold pieces.
While we're looting, like as we loot the people, I want to do mold earth as a cantrip, and just kind of dig a big hole to start throwing these bodies in.
Mass grave.
You said 8 gold pieces.
7.
where do we add money again?
So you go to equipment.
If you go to
Oh, equipment. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much does everyone have?
Put
'Cause for
currency
some
in
reason,
there.
I've got 28 right now.
I got 24.
I have 24
start
because you
with-
won some gold from drinking
That
the
drinking
beer.
contest, yeah.
Oh, I
I have
did.
100
That's
I
right.
have
I got a
135
discount
gold.
on my beer or something, didn't I?
You didn't have to pay the entry
I
fee.
lost gold last game, so
You're double or nothing.
All right.
so yeah, we're burying these bodies as we loot them.
Yeah,
Or
your
we could
archery
set them on
skills are as
fire.
good as your sneaking skills.
Pushing them in and
Should we just put them in a pile and set them on fire?
in their collective grave.
And then I asked Thorum to give the funeral speech, man. So
These men suck.
Well-
I'm glad they're dead. May they rest in peace and be better people. And
All right, if you guys are gonna bury the bodies, I'm gonna read the letter. I'm not interested in burying criminals.
Did we find anything else?
We read the letter already.
Tell me about the loot.
So you open the letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the crude-looking crossbows, are we supposed to actually take those, or is it just something we found and we don't want?
You can take and sell them.
All right, load them
So
onto the
just-
cart.
So it's like, so it's like in the cart, not on us, or something.
Yeah, it's in the cart. Yeah.
Who
Okay,
tracks
all right.
that?
Okay.
They
Um,
tag.
Maybe
each of you can take a light crossbow, and then
Just put in our equipment. Okay.
Yep. 2 extra will be thrown in the cart. So when you open the letter, it unfolds into 2 separate letters. One slides out from inside. The first one is a notice from what is it says it's entitled by Duke Ruxford of the town of Killingam, which is a call for help to anyone who is willing to aid the town in finding a cure for a plague that has hit
oh god, they get
Is it,
coronavirus in D&D too.
the town that you're going to.
Gilded D&D.
The next letter you find is a letter from his mother, wishing him good luck along his journey to find his wife.
Oh man.
at least he doesn't have kids.
And
I'll find her. I'll find her now.
12 children.
safe keeps, and mentions that there will be a package left at his abode.
Ooh. Mental
That's all.
note.
Does it have an address?
And your abode is.
Yeah, I guess people didn't have ID back then.
And that is
Chicken wife him.
all the letter has. So
Okay. All right. Oh, I showed to the group. Looks like there's a plague where we're going, guys.
it was titled the Bloody Flux. It
What is it?
was titled the plague was called the Bloody Flux.
The
The bloody flux.
All
Mhm.
right.
That sounds pleasant.
All right. Rory, do you know about this plague?
Plague. The Flux. Yeah, I'm familiar with it to a degree. It's it was
You know we're going to ground zero with mead.
unfortunately, it's not like we have much
Are
of
we
a
haul-
choice.
Are we hauling face masks in here?
Got
What
PPE.
is your helmets and your gear to survive? Think about surviving the mountain pass before you think about surviving the flux.
Fair enough.
I know of the flux, yes. That was how the Duke's daughter died. It's from contracting the flux after staying in Killingam for about 2 weeks.
Are there any known cures?
No, it was a sudden and rampant attack on the the city from this plague. It was it came in so fast it nearly wiped out half of the village.
Where'd it come from?
No one knows, to be quite honest. It just sort of appeared, but I guess we'll get a better temperature gauge on that when we get into the village, I suppose. If you want to,
I heard it's the Dragonmere flu. I heard it's the Dragonmere flu. Is that just rumor?
perhaps just wood elf rumor.
It's a Drovid-19.
Drove it 18.
It's a bit of a nasty one. Hope you don't come out with it, Mr. Wood Elf.
Thou shalt
I
show.
sneeze.
You sneeze?
Sneaks. Hops in the cart. Let's move on. We've got to hit that mountain pass before sunrise. We need to find shelter in one of the caves up there. Hopefully we don't fucking die along the way. So good luck and may the Everlight be with you all. Yeah. And he hits the reins on the carriage as the horses begin to tread on ahead. Into the night as you guys begin to head up on the mountain pass. As the weather gets colder and colder to the point of bitter cold where all of you begin to shake almost uncontrollably from the cold of this. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Good song.
21.
21. Hey.
10.
11, okay.
7.
7.
11.
11, all
Right.
right.
Shift easier because it just adds the number for me.
So, as everyone is, their teeth are chattering in the cart and everyone is bitter cold. Rune, the cold seems to hit you especially hard. You freeze and shake almost uncontrollably to a degree.
Cold's hitting you like a halfling.
To a degree, as the armor on you is amplifying that cold. You are you're some time away and nearing some frostbite to your body. So as the mountain pass continues and as snow begins to fall and the winds begin to pick up and as it begins to get even more cold for everyone, and as Rory even begins to chatter his teeth and light a torch to try and aid in some fire, everyone make another Constitution saving throw for me.
All right. While we're doing this, by the way, at some point I grab my dagger and just tuck it away.
I have
I got
I also have a torch in my equipment. That's in my adventuring gear and,
Mhm.
and a tinderbox. Can I light my torch while I'm here? Try to help this a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of light that up and try and fight some of that cold.
14.
And you said another Constitution throw?
Another Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a 21.
Hey, look at you.
Okay.
22.
I got a 19 on this one.
14.
Okay.
I'd like to skip this one.
Did you get 2? I
5.
got,
5.
I got 13.
13. Okay. So the only one who failed in this case was Turbidus, who, unused to the cold environment, is really beginning to hit you hard as even with the torch light and the torch warmth aiding in your passage through, the cold environment begins to shake and you chatter and the bitterness of it begins to turn into sheer pain as potential frostbite could be coming onto you as well. Rory, as the wind picks up,
I see how hard he's taking it, and I'm a little bit like warm, so I just put my hood down and I'm hanging out now.
all right. Just flexing.
You think if someone licks his horn, the tongue will stick?
Not
What
like
did you
horn's
just say?
metal.
As the as
I'm going to let you lick my horn for 50,000 rubles.
and the mountain pass begins to wind up now, and Rory turns back. I found a cave. We're taking shelter for the night. And you see he pulls the cart off to the side, and there's a as the mountain ledge begins, as you guys peer on ahead on the mountain pass, you see it getting narrower and narrower to the point where it almost will just barely fit the cart and wagons up ahead. But as he pulls off into a cavern that expands outward into a round, sort of circular shape, appears to be a man-made entrance. And he parks the cart, and you guys pull your cart and wagons inside. And he quickly throws some tinder and logs down that he cut up on the journey ahead, and throws takes some of the wheat and just throws it in as a kindling to get the fire started. And as the winter winds sort of howl outside for you guys, as the fire begins to roar up and your torches hang around, slowly warmth begins to come to all of you again as your coldest, one of your coldest nights ever for all of you begins to settle down into a warmer environment.
Can I use my druid? Can I use my druid craft to also build like a little wall at the front of the cave that kind of keeps the heat in, makes it more of a room, but also provides like a little bit of a barrier?
Sure, yeah. You start to use that and a combination of that and like mold earth to build up.
Does this
Correct,
cave
yeah.
Really
Mold earth.
ties the room together.
Sorry, mold earth is definitely what I meant to say.
As the wall forms, turns back, and Rory just sits back in the cart and sits by the fire and just leans up. What a day. What a day this has been.
Does the cave go any deeper than where we're at?
No, it's just this circular sort of dome almost in a way that was like a man, like caved out by man for the purpose of shelter in the mountain pass, it looks like.
So we built a fire, or do we have to roll for that?
He built the fire, yeah. It was built already. He's just sitting back alongside by the fire, just warming up now.
Okay, I just slowly pace around, staring at the floor, just looking around the place very closely.
I'm gonna try to redeem myself with Roy. I walk over with my water skin. I look at him and I go, Roy boy, little misunderstanding back there. Maybe I was a little mad because you took the journal away. I got it back. We're good now. But I really just don't understand how a guy like you and a guy like the Duke can, get into business together. Just something's not right here. I think Rune's been trying to get at it, but I'm just going to ask it. What the fuck does he have on you?
If I'm being quite honest, what he has on me is coin. And, well, from the payout of this, at least what was promised for the payout of this, this is going to be my last gig here in Iron Gate before I head off out into Stormfell and fuck off in the world, as you can say.
Into a
Good
bit of
old
shit.
home sweet home Storm.
One final gig. Fare thee well, buddy.
I've been saving up for quite a while on Duke's expenses and God fees from him. Lackluster to say the least. So I am sort of giving up this post and moving on. I've seen enough shit in my life where I don't need to deal with this anymore. Saved up enough coin. Finally have the time to settle down and find a wife. Maybe have a child.
Do you,
But who knows?
do you carry all that coin? And I wink at him like I'm going to rob him.
Ha 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 ha. I'm sure you will find it right on my pouch, hanging off my side in a convenient leather bag. Perfect for you to take from.
Noted.
Can I hit myself with a lay on hands and restore the rest of my health?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think I'll do that. So I guess that'll bring me back to my health.
Yeah, it'll bring you back to full.
Even though I had the frostbite, I didn't take any hit points, right?
No, it was just a condition that could have gotten worse if you kept rolling forward. That's all.
Oh man.
All right, so I'm back to full health, and then I guess I get that back once I
Long rest.
Yeah, long rest, which we're probably going to do right now, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a mountain pass, right? Like, so there's like high walls essentially outside this cave.
Is a high, so you're in a mountain. Yeah, you're like in a mountain cave right now, and then basically it's to the left. When you exit out of the cave and make the left, which is the way you're going, it's mountain, and then to the right is ledge. that is a deep fall.
While everybody's chit chatting, I'm very disinterested, and I'm looking around the cave to see if there's any like hints or clues of like any movement prior to us
Well,
arriving.
I have an ability called
Cave clues.
Divine Sense.
Divine
Where
Sense?
in 60 feet, I can see if there's anything in the cave with us.
So based off just sheer, quick checks investigation, I mean, it definitely looks as if people have been here prior, but you'd probably be assumed since this is like a man-made cavern, it's kind of like a hot spot for people who are traveling through the mountain pass to come reside in to sort of stay away from the winter winds and try and survive, essentially. So it's been habited before by others, but
It's a
kinda
highway rest stop.
yeah, it's like a rest stop basically for everyone. Yeah, that is what you guys see inside. As Rory sort of leans back and sits around, to be completely fair with you as well, this seems like a relatively mundane task, but I think the punishment was a bit harsh for what you guys did, realistically speaking. But that is the Duke's orders, and the Duke's orders are final. I am merely someone who jurisdicts law and justice on his behalf. For a coin.
For coin.
As
I want to
anyone,
go. I want to go out. I want to go outside to the ledge you spoke of. I have a climber's kit. I'm interested in just anchoring myself so that I can't fall off this ledge more than 25 feet. I want to just kind of like explore outside and see what's outside the cave, effectively.
Okay.
Get
So
my bearings.
you so as the winds sort of hit away you, and the bitterness immediately snaps back as you enter outside. You take your climber's kit out and you're gonna try and descend down the ledge.
Let's descend. The climber's kit's like a risk mitigation step, so that if I do fall for whatever reason or something pushes me, I don't die. I'm just. I want to see like
which
what's
way
over
are you
the
gonna
ledge.
go? Are you gonna go towards
I'm going
over
towards
the ledge?
the ledge.
The ledge is basically right outside, like it's a few feet outside, and you just look down.
Yeah, I'm looking down. Like what's down it?
Darkness, just
darkness.
darkness.
Even with my dark vision, it's more than 60 feet.
Like darkness is it's a big fall,
Cool.
hundreds of feet.
All right, I'm
Has
satisfied with that.
Has anyone asked Rory if anything was special about the mead?
No.
Like, can I inquire about the mead as if he knows if it has anything to do with like the blood flux or whatever?
Yeah, make a general insight check, I'll say, for Rory. Gauging the conversation and trying to determine
17.
17.
Yes.
Based on the way he's been speaking about the Duke and the way he has been speaking about the whole situation in general, in a way, it appears as if, in terms of the at all, more showing us like a disdain that he kind of hates what he's doing, basically. And in terms of his talks with the Duke, whenever he tends to bring up the Duke, there's sort of a hint of like anger in his eyes whenever he talks about that. Like there's a brief sense of anger that snaps over him whenever he begins to mention the Duke.
So he hates what he's doing, he hates the Duke, but he doesn't know if there's anything special about the mead.
You would gauge based on just the conversation alone that, just in general he's been talking about. He doesn't really know anything beyond what he's been instructed to do.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to be reserving anything from you. He seems like he's being very straightforward with you in his responses. So,
I'm back in the cave now, by the way. I came back. There's nothing. That legend is boring. I kind of
Fucking
catch.
cold out there.
I catch kind of whatever was happening in here.
And you mold the wall back up for insulation.
Yeah, the wall's back. We're all cozy and warm in here. I actually, as I walk in, I go, "You hole out there, guys! Big old hole." Connor, how are you holding up? You took some big hits out there.
Well, I'm feeling fine. I'm just trying to figure out what we have as far as rations go.
You have
Can
enough
I be
bread.
honest?
You have enough for
Can I be
survival.
honest? Can I be honest with everybody? I have no idea who any of you are.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember Slappy over there and Thorum, I think his name is. But other than that, short of fighting some bandits with you, no clue.
I have to say, for you not knowing each other, you fought like a real fucking team out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Take it from me, I fought in the Imperial Army after all. I've seen what coordinated teams look like. That was no paltry affair out there. You guys fucked them up, if you want me to speak loosely on that.
You're welcome.
Burbity Durbity over here crushed it. Absolutely crushed
Dirty,
it.
dirty.
What a performance by a tiefling, if I might say so myself. I've never seen a tiefling.
Listen, I get that a lot. Mass Marian, I get that a lot. We look similar. Just a little bit special. A little bit special. It's okay. Common mistake.
Sorry, I apologize.
Common mistake.
Rory, I got to come back to this. I'm not satisfied with you being completely motivated by money. I'm not taking it. I refuse to take it. I know there's something else. I'm not gonna say maybe like you're not hiding it from us so much as you're hiding it from yourself.
To be completely honest, as I mentioned, I served in the Imperial Army for a while. I was discharged from the army because of an accident.
Ooh.
And I needed to find a way to make some money beyond that. Even though
accident.
Yes, if you really would like me to go into much more detail about a soul-shattering event.
You'll have to roll a die.
Did you break into the Stormfell disease laboratory and unleash a plague by accident?
Oh,
I used to be
I had a bat.
in a cavalry battalion, and there was a day where me and the boys were out riding for practice, and it was a day quite like what we saw today, when it was heavy rainfall and shit environment for a horse, if you would. And as me and my companion were riding along, he took a slide and he broke his knee and thrusted me forward into a training dummy and broke my leg in multiple spots. And because of that, they discharged me. Medical reasons. And so after that, I needed to find another way to make a living.
guess the guy who got slapped by a dwarf ain't so bad after all, huh? Huh?
No, but I could
He was
still
a fucking
copy like the
halfling. If a dwarf smacked you, you'd be fucking dead.
And don't think twice about how you could react against me. I could still carve any of you up like a cake, regardless of my leg or not.
Rory, I believe it. You've proven yourself to be honorable. You trust to let us go. I appreciate you unshackling us. I hope we've proven that we're gonna, other than one of us, stick by you here.
Well,
Did we really destroy that town?
Well, in terms of that, not particularly. It was more so of a collective effort from everyone. And, well, I guess the Duke needed a martyr in this case.
Uh-huh.
So he picked whoever was in the drunk tank that night. Realistically, it was bullshit. It's not like I could defy him right away. After all, he's the one who's paying me the hefty sum to do this delivery and fuck off, I suppose. So
When this delivery is over and you go retire to your pasture, you have any problem with me bringing him to justice?
Fucking justice.
make a persuasion check.
Yeah. 17.
17. You see like a smirk that kind of grows across his face when he looks back up at you and he looks up. You know, it's funny. Maybe I'll help you with that.
Man like that shouldn't be in power.
Well, no. He's not fit to be a ruler, but I can't question his title. I can't question his lineage. I can question his ethics, but I'm sure most of Irongate wouldn't unless something is brought to light on his behest of his corrupt ways or his something that would be against the will of the entirety of.
You have any dirt on him? Come on, Rory.
I fucking wish I did. Because
All right.
I would have lobbed his head clean off his body by now if I did. But nothing.
Tell us of his lineage. I know he's a duke now, but how did his family come to power?
I'm also
Passed
confused.
out
Did his family die from the plague or was of murder? His friend murdered? What?
Well, his wife and his
that's an
daughter.
out.
His wife and his daughter were murdered by the flux. Yes, they were. His justification is that they were left in Killingam and
Lingam again. All right.
they were staying with
Wait a
them.
second. We're going to Killingam.
We are.
Yeah, that's what the plague is, man.
Yeah.
The people that
I thought elf ears heard real well.
I was outside on the ledge.
the people that kept his wife and daughter inside. Well, according to his when he brought justice upon them, stated that they held them there against their will and ransom against the Duke. Whatever that means. But
All right.
and they were thoroughly and swiftly executed for that. And well, we have dearly mourned the loss of his daughter, as well, she was rather a beacon of light in that bleak shithole of Irongate.
Well, you
I'm writing all this down, so I ask him to repeat the last sentence. And what's her name again?
The Duke's daughter.
Yeah, the dead one.
Well, her name was Amelia.
Rory, you seem like a decent dude. I want this Duke to answer for the shitbag he is. But this isn't your fault. I'm gonna help you retire. I'm game, man. Let's deliver this shit and then deal with him.
Well, I guess since you're all, I respect that. Thank you. But I guess since you're all so interested in hearing the story of this Duke and hearing a little more about this, let me indulge you all then. Well, the Duke and Amelia was sort of the Duke's prized possession, the sweetheart of Irongate, some would say, the diamond in the iron mines of the village to the common folk. She was loved by many, and she took all the good traits from her mother and her father. And occasionally Amelia would come by my post and demand to have a cup of tea with her guard. And
Is that what they call it?
the Duke would oblige. She was 12, so yes, it would be a cup of tea.
Jesus.
And she would pull me aside, and we'd sit down at her little table with her little stuffed animals, and she'd pour a cup of tea and demand me to guard her post as she stepped aside and did whatever and played with her friends and paraded around the village. And she was a bright little girl. She would have been a fine leader of Irongate one day, given her notoriety with the public. But
I write fine leader, big circle, realizing that this would have been the heir, and that is an interesting idea.
the Duke had brought Amelia with him when he left the village for a week. I heard they might have been held up in Killingam, so he could talk with Duke Ruxford there and get some advice from him. But The Duke came back about a week later. A week later by himself. When the people were asking where Amelia was, he said she stayed back in Killingam for a while to visit a friend of the family and play with their daughter from a neighboring village. About a week after, cold evening on a new moon, the gates of the village burst open. 2 men from Killingam came sprinting in with a wagon. Little Amelia was in the back there, coughing her lungs out with these bloody lumps all over her. The folks told the Duke she had caught what was known as the bloody flux. The poor little lass couldn't hold out for much longer. It was heart-wrenching to see. The town said their goodbyes in what I can recall as one of the saddest days I've ever seen in this forsaken town. And the Duke was furious, and the people of Irongate wanted blood from Killingam. It was madness. I've never seen anything like it. The family that took in Amelia fled Killingam, but they were eventually found by scouts the Duke had hired and were brought back. The Duke let the little one go, but as far as the other 2 go, he made an example of them. He hung the wife in the town square, and he stoned and tarred and feathered the father. It was an extraordinarily uncharacteristic of the Duke, but I suppose that was the beginning of his madness. So I've been keeping my eyes open, in the back of my head watching to see if he's gone mad and what his next move is. He would frequently wake up in the middle of the night, screaming, saying he had a nightmare. And he would always talk about hearing some sort of wicked laughter in the middle of the night when nothing was there. I think the old sod is just starting to go mad now. But the sooner I can leave this shithole, the better, let's be honest.
Yeah, totally just motivated by money.
I don't even know what to say to that.
So what's our next steps?
They all went to this town together. He came back without the wife and daughter, and then suddenly they died. So, Rory, you think he's behind it?
I have my suspicions, if I'm being honest with you.
Why would he want his daughter dead?
That's what I still have yet to discover.
It sounds to me like we have 2 options. A, we go back, we say we delivered the mead. We go back to our boy, Dookie Boy, and collect our pay and carry on. I mean, who's to say we didn't deliver it, right? It's not like they're gonna send a carrier bird and say that we delivered the mead. We just go back with that.
Sure, that's enough. Rory, is he gonna pay us? Or is
Is he actually going to pay us? Is he going to pay you?
No, he's not. He's not going to pay us anything. This is to reduce our fine.
He's going to pay me. He's going to set you free, supposedly.
So we are kind of free. You're the only ball in chain here, Rory. You see what we're getting at? That's why it's not narrow in your direction. So, I mean, I'm all for having a bounty on my head.
Your honor for the debauchery that you entailed in this town. I think it's your civic duty to reduce your sentence. So
Is our noble monk gonna go along with it?
I guess the other option is we push forward and we try to get an audience with Duke Rexford. Unless he's dead, right? Did he get tarred and feathered?
He's alive. No, it was the wife
Okay.
and husband of that were the family friends of Duke Horatio that kept his daughter in Killingam. They were murdered.
Killingam sounds a lot like Killingham. Good name for a town.
I'll say that.
You said we're heading west to Killingam?
Heading west, yes.
Where is
Rory,
it? I've
I'm
never
gonna
seen
be-
it on no map before.
Beyond the mountain pass here, just west. Slightly south, it is a small village
Towards
there.
Drywood. Towards Drywood, correct?
Drywood south, west is towards Stormfell from where you guys are going.
Okay.
So it's the snow. It's the snowy bit.
Snowy mountains. Yeah, you're going through the snowy mountains and then back out into the planescape again.
Cool. I didn't know if we were like going down and through.
I think we got to keep going. We got to get dirt on this guy and bring him down.
Rory, you got to prove some value though. You haven't really done much to beyond letting us roam around without this. But you would have died with the bandits. Let's be real. I just don't see the value of you right now, and I think that's a problem because there's a lot of us and one of you. And yeah, they're not on my side yet, but they're getting there.
Rory knows the Duke.
Oh my, you're a funny one. Please. I know what you're thinking, and I strongly suggest you think otherwise. I'll have you know, sure, my leg may be wounded, but as I mentioned before, I am not the Duke's personal guard for any old fucking reason.
How about this? You are the Duke's personal guard. You're very outnumbered. Would he pay more to set a hostage free that he has a high value for, like you perhaps, than he would to pay us to deliver some mead? It sounds like yes. And you can be a hostage.
Your idea is humorous, but no. The Duke would just spit on that and let me die. Because he'll find someone else to replace me and move on.
I've had enough of this banter. Get rid of the druid. Go take a nap. Stop badgering him. Can we continue?
I'm not sure if I want to go along.
All you do is keep talking and talking. Oh,
Have you ever
you hurt
gotten
more.
that
You hurt me
time?
more than the voices in my head, and I didn't think anything could hurt as much as those.
Have
I'm
you
not
ever
sure if
gotten
I
to
want to go along with the plan of an elf who can't avoid a stick or shoot a man in the back proper.
Go talk to the trees and tell us what they say.
I mold earth and I reopen the door and the wind blows in.
It's probably the first time he's been blown.
Once again, I like the dwarf.
Now, what's your relationship with this Duke personally? Do you think that this could be a trap?
If I'm being completely honest, I think he's trying to make an example of us in this situation. I think he knows that I'm bailing after this and he doesn't want to pay up. And I think he wants to use you as an example back in the city. I could be wrong, however. Maybe he's just going to let us fuck off. Maybe he's just suspecting the Flux will take us in Killingam and we won't return at all. I think at this point, the only way we're going to get something done is if we do deliver this, because Killingam does rely on our delivery. We return, and depending what happens, we see. I'm sure you are all more than capable enough to get yourselves out of a bind if the time were to come.
Then I vote that we continue on and deliver the mead.
Agreed.
Has the Duke already received the coin?
Yes,
Or
he
do-
received a payment in advance for that, and hence we want to ensure the ties with Killingam are maintained for whoever takes the mansion from Duke Horatio sooner or later. Killingam is full of more pleasant people than Irongate. That's for certain. More of a farming village, so they have not much to lose and anything to gain. So anything to help them is a win for all of Ethos, for that matter, and a moral compass. But
Do you think Iron Gate could be behind the plague?
I don't know. I don't suspect how Duke Horatio could just let a disease run rampant amongst another village. One that he treasures Duke Ruxford as an ally and as a companion. And
Was he in the village when it first struck?
Duke Ruxford or Duke Horatio?
Well, Horatio's the one from Iron Gate, right?
Yes.
The plague struck after he returned home.
Timing lines up.
Well, his wife and daughter were still there.
Yes. Yeah, Amelia was there.
Why did he leave without his family?
His daughter wanted to stay behind and stay with the family friends that lived in Killingam. She wanted to play with one of her friends that was there, and Duke Horatio accepted this offer and left her behind. And when he returned home, and when she returned home, the flux had taken over.
How long has it been ravaging this village?
At this rate, a few weeks. And at this rate, Killingam won't stand for another few weeks.
So her death is pretty fresh.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It is an open wound still, aye. And I believe it is a scar that will never fade from Iron Gate henceforth.
How fast does the plague work?
Days till death. If you're lucky, a week. Starts with a cough, and then it evolves to bloody lumps that spread across your body and your face, and then eventually the lumps pop. And it burns your skin, rots your body down to the bone. It's an awful way to die.
Sounds like aliens.
Known survivors?
No survivors. There's no cure, no way to prevent it, no way to slow it down from what we are aware of.
Can't flatten the curve.
It's Florida. The only way that at this point, I don't know.
Classic Killingam, man.
How much of the population has contracted the disease?
Only a couple hundred, if at most. Killingam is a rather small village, so it's rather contained, but
Is it because they're not testing enough? Are the tests a lie?
If they tested more, then they'd have more cases.
it's failed government.
They're not getting any funding
Hey,
for
the
testing.
Emperor. But if it was
So
Great.
what are our next steps? When can we leave this cave? How far
I
out
think-
are
I think
we
we
from
sleep.
arriving?
we're gonna take a nice long rest, and we're gonna venture back off tomorrow morning. Hopefully, when the wind has died down slightly enough to bear the remainder of the pass, we go to Killingam, figure out what the fuck is going on, deliver the wheat and barley, and well, if Duke Ruxford proposes you something, then I suppose that's up to you to decide if you want to aid in that or not. Or he could be dead, and we drop it off, and we return back home.
I know one person in Killingam. I met him in my travels while exploring through Ethos. Sorcerer Fauci will have answers about the plague.
Sorcerer Fauci?
He died from the plague. I heard that.
You must seek him out. He'll know what to do.
We must seek out the Fauci.
Can you elaborate on that a little more, perhaps?
He's a quaint man, a man of magic. Some might say extreme amounts of knowledge. I've heard rumors that he can look at just the sheer number and density of the plague and dispel out his wisdom to help us prevent it.
I know what you're
So
talking
much so-
about. I heard that was fake
Yeah.
news.
I see.
I think this is just
It's got political.
I think this is a ploy just to reopen the countryside. I don't understand why I can't drink my mead indoors anymore. Why must I be sitting outside? If the plague comes to get
Why
me,
do I
let it
have to
get
wear
me.
my helmet if the super come on?
How dare you stay a javelin's throw away from me at all times?
Oh, God.
You did this. You set this up.
Well, perhaps we can find Sorcerer Fauci in Killingam.
The old turtle beggar McConnell turned it all down.
But until then, I am going to rest because I am fucking exhausted. Well, good night, everyone.
Hey, Druid, you want to lower your wall? Get this paladin one more good blow?
And he just kind of like kicks back against the cart and just Begins to doze off slowly.
Yeah.
I would like
should someone guard? Should we take shifts?
I would like to reach
I like
for
that.
the coin purse hanging that from his belt, like you said.
Ah, yes, the very obvious leather
Mhm.
fat coin purse
Yeah.
on his side that when you go to reach for is not there.
Oh, son of a bitch, he lied.
Well, he didn't get paid yet, so.
Yeah. All right. I stand guard for a couple hours and then eventually fall asleep.
Okay.
The next guard.
I'm gonna pass out. I'm good.
With the mold earth, there's really you guys don't really have to take much of a guard because he has built a solid wall.
Let's back up. Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, we'll get some rest. Fuck.
Hey,
All right.
Everyone gets long rests.
So
Before we
right next to the fire.
before we hop off, half this time I was trying to read up about blood curses and blood maledict and hunter's bane. I don't really understand my stuff. It looks like I think I remember I picked one of these curses. Does that sound right to you?
So, yeah. So Burke says, your blood curse. Oh, let me see real quick.
I picked one when I created character, I guess.
Yeah. So you have a blood curse, which is called blood curse of the eyeless. So basically,
Yeah.
what it is, when a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes it a melee attack, makes an attack roll, you can use your
Yeah.
reaction, and you use a hemocraft die, which is your blood maledict. Which is your blood maledict is what you can infuse like a magical energy. I know you amplify your curse. Blood maledict you can eventually amplify your weapons with, but basically your blood maledict you lose 1d4 hit points, but you increase your damage by or your output by a certain much. So in the example of your blood curse, you would use your blood curse of the eyeless on a target who is making an attack roll.
Right.
Then roll you roll 1d4, and depending on what that roll is subtracted from their attack roll. So say a creature
Yeah.
rolled 14 to attack,
Yeah.
and you use blood curse of the eyeless and roll a 4, it becomes a 10.
So that doesn't hurt me. I don't have to roll. I don't get hurt for doing that one.
But blood maledict hurts you because that amplifies the spell, in which you get the amplify effect.
Okay.
So, as you see under the blood curses amplify, you apply this curse to all creatures' attack rolls until the end of the turn.
Okay.
You roll a new hemocraft die for each affected attack. So if there's 5 people within 30 feet, you can use your blood maledict to amplify it, and all creatures in that 30-foot radius
Got it.
are subtracted by the 1d4.
And is there the other thing I didn't understand is there a limit? Okay, is this something where I have to rest between uses? Can I keep doing this? I mean, what? How is this?
So in this case, you can only use your blood maledict once, your blood curse once per long rest,
Okay.
or one per short rest rather. Because as you look under other, it says you can for blood maledict. It says you can invoke a blood curse a number of times per short rest based on your level. You can choose to amplify the curse, losing 1d4 hit points. So basically, because you're level 1, you can use your blood curse once per short
Number
rest.
of times. Okay.
And if you decide you want to use the amplify, you subtract 1d4 hit points from yourself.
All right.
You damage yourself by 1d4. So
Okay.
basically, you get it once. If you want to
So
amplify,
once per
per short rest,
conflict, per conflict, basically.
to a degree. Yeah, a short rest is typically an hour-long rest,
All right.
which rests, depending on the party. Some parties take them often, some don't take them at all. So it's dependent on the situation as well. As you level up, you'll get more uses of it. So
Okay, that's it. Got it.
I console Flamboyant because she wakes up in another screaming nightmare about math and subtraction.
The nerds with the dice.
as you all sleep comes to all of you sooner or later, in the bitter cold of this cavern that begins to settle in again as the fire dims and as the morning rises. That is where we will finish up for tonight.
Cool, man.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Hey,
I got some kills.
while you
First
guys are
blood,
talking
first
yeah.
blood.
While you guys are talking about his abilities, do all of us have opportunity attack, or is it just me?
Yep, everyone gets an opportunity attack. Basically, what that means is when we get into more like tactical combat, where I'll use like a battle map. What that does is basically an opportunity attack is if someone is up close with you and they leave your radius for your attack. Like let's say like you're slashing with your swords, right? You're in one-on-one with someone, and let's say they see another target, they turn around and leave without disengage.
Disengage.
Disengage it.
So,
Cliffhanger.
oh, sorry. So if they leave without disengaging, you can take an opportunity attack on them by using your reaction. So basically, you get one attack on them as they're leaving your melee range.
And that's on their turn.
That's on their turn. Yep.
Okay, but then that's like unlimited every time somebody tries to
It's one reaction. You get one reaction per round. So you get one opportunity attack if they leave your range.
And then you get it back when
On
like
your turn.
after you attack.
Yeah, after your turn, you get it back again.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
Cool, man.
That was a lot of fun.
Man,
That was fun.
That was.
got 2 kills.
I still don't trust this Rory dude.
even
know,
after shooting him and him saying you're all right.
No, that was definitely awesome. Thanks, appreciate it, Zach.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glad we were able to sit down and get this started. So
Gotta keep my eyes on this Raytheon guy.
So that's the first Hazard D&D stream in the books. Thanks
For the past
everybody
hour-
for coming out.
For the past hour, by the
McNucks.
way, we've been number 3.
Rob,
on
Real Life
D&D
Peter
for-
Griffin.
All
Really?
right, number 3.
that's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
So thanks to McNucks, thanks to Real Life Peter Griffin, Stubborn Joe, Chuck, Chris, Zach. Appreciate it. And when you guys see us again, we'll be still in this cave. And then hopefully we'll be on our way to a plague-filled village somewhere, looking for
Tuesday
the
night?
Fauster.
Something like that.
One of us gonna die. It's
I don't know if I can join in the next couple weeks, but let me know what time.
We might have to
try,
drag. We
but
just
I
have
don't know.
to drag your body across the.
Well,
terrain.
if you can't make it, I'll play as you, and I'll keep a notes sheet of what happened every
Okay.
session. You
All
can
right,
catch up,
just
so.
shoot some arrows, man.
Yeah,
You got a
shoot
sniper
first,
now.
ask questions later, and be selfish. There you go.
Hey, man, maybe I call him that bandit. He was a dick. All right, man. Good night, guys.
all right, Joe.
Buenas noches.
Later stream.
See you guys.
All right.